fuck you doing?
Remember that name, Good Pizza, with 3 Z's, baby, 3 Z's.
What's up, guys? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Yo, this week we got a very special power couple that came through to tell their story. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Flynn and Alice in the building today from Wooksauce Winery. World-class hash makers. Alice is crushing it on the educational side, really bringing the education to her people and all the people in the cannabis industry. You guys are going to love this episode. It's packed full of good stories and good game for you guys. And man, they got some good rosin. See y'all on the show. So thanks for coming down, guys. I appreciate you guys coming through to hang out with us. You know?
Definitely.
I love having couples on the show. And from what I've learned, you guys are certainly a power couple.
Thank you.
You know?
I believe we are.
Yeah.
we were. We were talking a little City of Gods before the show started.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The Brazilian reality.
Yeah, this is my homie. This is my new homie from Brazil right here. I was telling her I have some cousins from Brazil that are near and dear to my heart. So, you know, I love the Brazilian culture. I still haven't been in Brazil.
You should.
I will.
It's actually
I
a
promise.
good cannabis time to go to
Really?
Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
We
about that.
recently had, not like it changed much,
Okay.
and I can go deeper into that.
No doubt.
But Brazil recently decriminalized cannabis.
Oh, tight.
So it decriminalized 6 plants and
nice.
also 40 grams on you. 40
Cool.
grams of what? I don't know. 40 grams of something.
Sure.
You know? Is it hash? Is it flour? Is it like, they don't know.
No doubt.
But why it didn't change much? Because it was kind of decriminalized already.
Yeah.
They just established a measurement, like a
Gotcha.
gram, an amount of a measurement. But it's
Gotcha.
not like you can smoke or you can have plants, because if the
Okay.
cops see your plants, even though it's decriminalized, they will still cut your plants and take take everything you have away.
Gotcha.
And you still answer a financial penalty. Is that how we say it? Financial? Like a
Yeah,
administrative
Yeah, you get a fine.
penalty.
No, that
Fine.
makes sense.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Like a parking ticket, a
Mhm.
heavy
like
ticket.
like a parking ticket.
Got you. Is hash or flower more prevalent in Brazil?
I feel like Brazilians smoke a lot of hash,
Tight.
but of course it comes from overseas, like
Yeah.
Morocco, and even like the Paraguayan one, the super
Really?
dark, like we call it like grape, like dark grape,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay, cool.
But so much brickweed. That's how
So
we
much
all
br-
start.
Yeah, that's how we all start. Yeah. Nobody's safe from the brickweed chapter. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say that. Thank you, brickweed. I'm thankful for you.
Yeah.
You know, you showed it to me,
Yeah.
but then we chose better paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a rough start, but we didn't know any better. You know, it was what we had. You know.
Yeah.
That's cool. So Alice, I'd like to dive into your story first, because we agreed we're gonna be gentlemen. We're gonna let the ladies go first, as always. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very curious about your story.
Thanks, boys.
Learning what I've just learned about you. So let's take it back. Let's where you're from and kind of roll through it.
All right. I am from Brazil. Grew up my whole life in São Paulo. Till actually I moved here. Of course, I traveled a bunch.
That's right.
So I did a bunch of like globe trotting around the world, but I can't deny I chose California once I smelled the bubble hash.
The bubble hash brought it here, folks.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So I lived my whole life in Brazil. I studied at a nice school. My school was very progressive. I was always very in touch with like sustainability, nature, and politics. I'll say that we were very much like, it wasn't only math and
Sure.
like geography. You know, it was like they were teaching us how to become citizens.
Yeah.
And I did go for psychology as a university. So
Oh,
I
cool.
am a licensed clinical psychologist. I do not practice because the United States does not accept my degree.
Oh no.
But it's okay because in the middle of school, of university, before I graduated, I smoked my first ice water hash from California.
In middle school.
And yeah, no, not in middle school. In when I was in psychology university.
Eh,
In
oh,
college.
gotcha.
It's because
College,
it's a little
sorry.
different. The college
Missed it.
thing and the university, it's a little different here. So when I was kind of like in college, I was in a Psytrance party, and the Psytrance crew loves hash, and travels also worldwide. In Europe, is like
Yeah.
Israel, and lot of different like places where psytrance is powerful. And this guy just like came up to me. He knew I liked hash, and he said, "You have to smoke this one." And we rolled a spliff, which is the way we mostly consume, and just like,
Oh yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah, like, what is this flavor? Like, I've never experienced this. Like,
Sure.
why am I feeling like this? Like, why is this flavor just like taking over me?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I was like, so what's this? And he's like, yeah, this is like hash made in the mountains in California. And I was like, where? And then he was like, Humboldt. And I was
Wow.
like, damn. So I graduated. 2 months later, I was in California.
Wow.
A couple months later, I was in Humboldt.
Okay, so I need to hear about, because this always interests me. I was just talking to my son about this on his way to school today. Like, you know how we were talking about the trim scene and how people immigrate here just for the summer for the trim scene and to you know, make a living, save your money, and then go do whatever it is you do for the rest of the year. But it always interests me on, like, you know, how did you get here? What was your plan? Like, what was it like when you first touched down? Like, did you have connections? Like, walk me through that.
So my hope was that I was going to come here, of course, to learn how to make more hash and like smoke hash. But my plan when I came here was to follow up with my education.
Okay.
So my first stop in California was the Psychedelic Science Conference.
That's nice. Solid.
Yeah.
Where was this?
It was in Oakland.
I was gonna guess Oakland.
Yeah, in,
for
20,
sure.
in 2017. I don't know. Some people that might be watching, they might have been there. Or
Tight.
It was like a very interesting.
Is that when you got here?
experience.
2017?
Yeah.
Me too.
Really?
Solid.
There you
Yeah.
go. And actually,
Solid.
him also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of
shit.
2017, I was in Washington before that.
Let's
and then
go.
I moved to California full time. Like, yeah, end of
Solid.
2017.
So we were
Solid.
all in the 2017.
Damn, what a
realm.
journey,
It
guys.
was a
Yeah.
journey.
Cool.
And I really love the psychedelic community, and
Yeah.
also I wanted to study to be a therapist that could go on sessions with like mushrooms and MDMA.
Cool.
But when I got here, I understood that this dream was a little further just because of like the prices of you being an out-of-state student.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I started doing what had to be done. You know, I made connections. I used Instagram at the time already. I already have the Girls in Green project that we can
Okay.
talk about this like after a little bit. But Girls in Green really helped me make connections here.
Really?
Because it was an educational project and page already. And a lot of people opened their houses and their labs and their farms for me to come check out and educate and
Wow.
keep educating people. But
That's
yeah,
tight.
I trimmed Modi weed, a lot of Blue Dream in 2017. I got sick out of the amount of mold in the farm
no.
that I was like working at the first time. But my plan was always hash.
Okay.
So I knew I had to go through the steps to make it to a hash lab.
Yeah.
And I just, in a humble way, just like, yeah, let's run it. Let's do it.
Let's run it.
And in 2018, I already got in touch with my first hash lab in here, like rolling tempo balls for the lab, for the brand.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Very cool.
at the time, like some farmers were giving me trim. I was making like some trim hash on the side, smoking it, enjoying it, rolling tempo balls.
Yeah, there you were. That's tight, dude. What an entry in here, man. So let's talk about the Girls in Green and like, you know, what that organization is, what it stands for, what your involvement is, and you know, they plugged you up when you moved here. That's dope.
It's not them because it's kind of like my project, but
My bad. This is let's talk about your project and your
Yes.
business.
Yeah. Girls in Green is actually Girls in Green is actually my business in Brazil. It started
Tight.
as an educational project.
Okay.
I've been working with harm reduction since I was 19 years old, which is a path of like dealing with people that do substances, that have issues with substance or like game or sex addiction or addictions.
Okay.
And it's like ways of like reducing risks and harms of consumption, but also the drug policy and prohibitionism. And when I was in Brazil, I worked in harm reduction in nightlife. So I would go to a bunch of raves with projects and like test their drugs with reagents.
Oh, okay.
Do a psychedelic aid, like someone was just like tripping their balls out on LSD, having an ego death, and we were just like help them through the experience, like help them help themselves, right? At the end of the day.
Wow.
So I had
awesome.
all this harm reduction background and psychology, but my substance of choice was cannabis.
Yeah.
So of course, in Brazil, even though it was illegal, I wanted to start growing and I wanted to have the first plants. So I got together with my friends and we like started having our first plants, or like our little, almost like a computer, like grow, like, when you take the computer out. Is it a computer?
Yeah.
Like
Like
the-
a little tiny box, like
Like a
tiny grow.
little
You get
tiny
like
box.
Yeah.
7 grams of weed. Type
Oh,
of thing,
snap.
like growing small
Like-
time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
real,
like
the real one.
growing
lighter.
a computer
The OG
inside
one,
a
Whoa.
wardrobe,
Yeah.
so not even the parents would realize what was kind of
Low-key.
going on.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You have pictures of this? I want to see this little fucking plant. Look like a little auto, little baby
No,
auto.
for,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
real,
yeah.
my first plant was a blue cheese from Barney's
Oh,
farm.
fire.
One seed. An ex-boyfriend of mine gave it to me,
Wow.
and I didn't know how to take care of it, and I chopped one bud. It was my plant had a name. It was called Ariel, and it had one bud.
Like the mermaid?
Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't your grandma water this plant
My
while you were
grandma watered
away
that
too?
plant.
You
Oh,
got,
this is
you
the
got
best
her
story
like.
But she
ever,
didn't
dude.
know it was weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom figured it out because she would wake me up in the morning and the sun would hit in my window, and the blue cheese is very pungent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then she was just like, "What the fuck is this smell?" And then I showed it to her, and she knew I was smoked at the time. She didn't care. It was
No
just
doubt.
one plant.
Yeah, it's just one, Mom.
But yeah, we wanted
cool.
to try things in Brazil. And
Yeah.
Girls in Green helped with that because at the time, there was a huge lack of information. Like, where would you find information in Portuguese in Brazil? You wouldn't. You would find maybe a couple of forums online, but everything we had to search in English. And
got you.
Instagram was a powerful tool 10 years ago to communicate and get together with the community.
Yeah.
As much as I hate Instagram, and we got deleted yesterday, and then I got sad and I cried, and like it was through this platform that I met my husband,
Oh, nice.
the most important people in my life, and I have
Beautiful.
the project, which is Girls in Green, that it's like my life's project.
That's
So,
amazing.
started as a project, harm reduction, so I could learn, but I could also educate. Everything I learned, I educated. I transformed like the language so people would understand also more about cannabis, sustainability, hash, and also psychedelics. And in 2019, it became a real company. That's when we got like our LLC
Cool.
to be like a media and educational company.
Okay.
So it is a media and educational company in Brazil. We do have some products that are actually on the table today.
Yeah, tell me about them, please.
Babe, can you get a tip for me? Awesome. So the first product we developed with Bambolado, this brand, this amazing brand, is like one of the biggest like focus in cannabis and tobacco paper brands in Brazil.
Cool.
And we developed like this like extra long tip, already thinking of harm reduction strategies.
Okay.
So the longest it is, the coolest the smoke gets in your throat.
Yeah.
And I didn't pull this out of nowhere. Okay.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
We preach that too.
Yeah, I actually got advised by a doctor. Is that an English name? Phonodiologist? Is that the word? It's like a doctor that
think
takes
so.
care of your
Auditory kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like singing too, and I had a little something in my throat. They sent me to a doctor.
Okay.
And I told her I smoked, and she was like, "Can you smoke with the 20s tip?" And I was like, "What?" And you remember the 20s tip?
Yeah.
She said that I had to put my joint at the end of it.
Yeah, yeah, dude. For real.
She said I had to put the joint at the end of that, and I was like, all right. But yeah, I mean, this idea popped up in a product,
That's
and also with this, because we want to spread the word about harm reduction. So this tip has harm reduction strategies in it, which are ways to make cannabis consumption a little safer, and not only cannabis, right? So here it's written that the tips are long, so they help. The crotches are long, so they help like cool down the smoke.
Yeah.
We support people to also use a filter, which we also have on the table over there. There's a Jilter box.
Okay.
It's a collab we did with Jilter. This is not even on sale. It's just a collab we did.
Sure.
And for you not to hold the smoke, in Brazil people have the unfortunate culture because of the prohibition and not having access of smoking, saving all the ends of the joints,
Yeah.
and then putting them all together. And
Yeah,
making
roach joint, yeah.
The roach joint, and we try to avoid that.
Yeah, it's a lot of tar.
And
A lot of tar, yeah.
a lot of tar.
Yeah.
And here we embrace something a little bit more holistic of the harm reduction and talk about how harm reduction is a apology to love and care, and not an apology to substances. And it's it's the politics of love, you know.
Yeah.
It's for you to respect, not judge, embrace. So all this harm reduction knowledge got mixed up with Girls in Green, and we actually became pretty big at this in Brazil. Like nowadays, all the brands in Brazil have long tips, and they all use
That's
harm reduction
crazy.
as the justification and
Nice.
the approach. So
You pioneered that.
I will
Congrats.
happily say that yes.
Congrats.
Yeah. I'm not
curious.
very like, oh, you know, like take like.
No, but it is what it is.
I don't want to take the space, but it's true. Like
Yeah.
my friend was telling me, like
She's too
this
humble
week, she's
sometimes.
like,
No, it's
"Damn,
cool. That's why
Alice,
she's
you have to
where she
own
is.
it, you know, own
Yeah.
that."
Yeah. I'm curious. So when I send this to my cousin, I'm curious if she's heard of you guys. She probably
Maybe.
has. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe she's a stoner in Brazil. Like our project,
I mean, I don't know
we're
if she's
almost
been
10
back, though.
years. I'll say
Got
we're
you,
almost
got you.
10 years. Next year we're gonna do 10 years in April, and we have this product for at least 5. So
Nice.
our project's big website, Instagram. Like I know followers don't matter, but at the same time it shows because we're stuck in 260,000 followers for over a year now because our
wow.
page doesn't get sent to
Recognized,
other people or
shadow
recognized,
banned, yeah.
shadow ban.
A lot
But-
of real work too. A lot of articles on your website.
Yeah.
How many hundreds of articles?
Around
literally?
500 articles.
Yeah, all
Wow.
about
Yeah.
exactly what she was talking
Wow.
about.
That's
So,
impressive.
And the-
amazing.
There
That's
was
a lot of
change.
followers too.
Yeah, it's a bunch of followers. It's a big community.
I see
I'll
why
say
you
that.
cried when it came down. Gee, I would have cried.
I did cry yesterday, and I cried again when I made the post that it got back, and I asked everyone what was their favorite memory with Girls in Green throughout the years, and the comments.
That's cool.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, now she's starting
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
I don't even wanna
Don't bring yourself through it, girl.
No,
Yeah.
no. But it's if I cried, it would be happy tears. Like
Cool.
it would be happy
Cool.
tears. But there was a big shift on the Girls in Green too, because the Girls in Green is very much like what I want to put out in the world. And when I came here, I started getting divided in my heart divided in between harm reduction and hash. So nowadays, like 50% of the content on Girls in Green is probably more focused in hash making.
Okay.
And I launched a course this year for focus in the Brazilian community, teaching patients and no patients on how to make hash. The course is pretty dope. It has like 23 classes that I've recorded previously, and it's just hash, like not even rosin on that course.
Okay.
Like we're focused on
Just bubble hash?
bubble hash, dry sift, and,
Dry sift,
and
yeah.
post processing of like ice water hash too.
Okay.
We talk about history, charas in the beginning. We don't make it.
Chars, yeah.
Yeah, and we also launched a book this year. We
Nice.
launched it's a digital book, but it's
Okay.
a real book. Like it's recognized by the book
Publishers.
not publisher. Like
Oh.
there is a government part that takes care of books.
Oh.
Not a government part. Like there's a part that takes care of the registration of books in Brazil. So our book
Hmm.
is like is a legal digital ebook.
It's a nice
Okay.
There's
book,
a
too.
number.
Recognized in
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Like a legal. Like it's not
Sure.
just like a.
You just
You
put it
wrote a
out.
PDF file and just
Yeah,
like
sure.
no, it's not. It's
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's very cool. As far as harm reduction, do you do any like education on not only making hash but smoking hash? Like
Yeah.
And you know, how hot should the dab be? How long should you hold it in? Like, could you elaborate on that a little bit for myself and my audience? Because you know, hot dabs suck. Not the podcast. It's the best podcast out there. But
I mean, hot dab sucks.
hot
Not
dabs
the past
suck.
Podcast.
Not the podcast, just
But
like
the
a hot dab that
experience.
just the experience. Oh man.
That's when I don't know. I don't know. I haven't told this story online. Have I told this on First Smoke of the Day or not?
I don't know.
The Garberville Hospital experience.
I don't remember. If I'm honest.
I don't remember.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Damn. Should I bring this up?
Yeah, hit me.
I will bring
That
this
was
up.
an interesting
When
day.
you hear me out there saying, please do not give me a hot dab, it's because of this, okay?
Okay.
Don't give me a hot dab out there. Whoever you are in whatever event we're at, don't give me a hot dab.
Don't do it.
Please always pay attention to
Get
it.
them temps right.
Yeah, so, and that's why I like to talk about harm reduction also, right? Because
Yeah.
I
Funny story.
never understood I would need so much of it, like especially applied to dab, which
Sure.
is something I love so much.
Because we're just kind of winging it out here with the dabs when you get started, you know?
Damn, it was my first slurper dab ever.
Oh, God. This is a story about you?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Let's go.
Let's go.
Buckle up, folks.
Buckle up. All right, it was 2021,
Okay.
bike day, 419. The next day was 420.
Okay.
At the time, Papa Select was a client of Girls in Green. We used to take care of their social media and write all their educational posts and strategies.
Oh, nice.
So we are a little agency too. So we
Cool.
take care of other people. And we had like an event to go. So we were in Humboldt. I was super excited for the slurper. It had been a while that I wanted a slurper. And Flynn was like, no, we don't need a slurper. Like, why? And I was like, no, I want it. Like, I need it.
They're pretty
I want
cool.
it. They're pretty cool. Like, I just want it. And then, damn it, Bobby, right?
Damn it, Bobby.
Send us a slurper.
Yeah.
And I go use the slurper for the first time on video with my friend called Little Big Smoker,
Okay.
which she honors it. She's a Brazilian girl that lives in Canada that has, shout out Bianca, love you, girl. She's part of Gastown with Dave.
Okay.
And she's a little big smoker. She's like this size, this tiny, and just like she makes bigger clouds than like probably all of us in this room together.
No doubt.
Yeah. Which is great for her. I don't like it at all. You know,
Love
I don't
that
think
for you,
necessarily
girl.
like go girl, but
No doubt.
poor lungs. You're young too. So I took a dab, and my device wasn't really aligned to the slurper. So
Okay.
she suggested me to put to put the measurement temperature not in the bottom but on the side.
Interesting.
And then I don't know, it wasn't aligned.
Okay.
And then what just happened out there? Flynn was high on.
it
Can I
was-
say that Flynn was high on L
Yeah, you
because it
can.
was
Okay.
bike day.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't
it's, you know,
judge.
that's
Yeah.
tradition, baby.
Yeah, he
You know what I'm saying?
you know-
419, man. Send
No,
it.
we were like in the redwoods. He was high on L,
whatever.
you know, like, and then we went back home, and I was super excited to try the slurper. We organized this whole setup, and then
Okay. So
boom.
so you went back home to do this, not
Yes.
at the
In
event.
Ben,
Gotcha.
No, the event was on the next
Benbow.
day. We were at home when this happened.
Yeah, we were just
Copy.
in Humboldt, hanging really,
Okay.
where you were living, and you know.
Yeah, where I was living. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happened? I mean, you saw what happened.
Honestly, I thought I was tripping harder because, you know, I was high on L, but I wasn't like, you know, hallucinating heavily. But
Sure.
she took the dab and literally the nail was brand new looking. Didn't
There's
have to
nothing there.
touch it. It all disappeared. It was like I think a maybe 1200 degree
Oh
fucking
my
dab.
God.
Like I was like just guesstimating on like what type of temperature could do that because it was brand new quartz too. So
Yeah.
brand new quartz doesn't glow as much and stuff when it's really hot. I
Okay.
feel like
Yeah.
so. It was just ripping hot.
No, and I went
and
for it.
Good
And you
because
went
he
for
had because he had the pearls. And I
Yeah.
wanted to make the pearls
Spin.
dance and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And then
my God.
No, and it was like this is a
You're
subject
stressing
that
me out, girl.
we should talk about this.
No, we
you
should,
know?
we should.
That's a
I'm just
real
being
thing.
funny.
You got to be
Yeah.
really
To
careful.
be honest, I had to go to the hospital that
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah.
had never been to the hospital in the United States, and I went to the Garberville Hospital
Oh my God.
During COVID,
during
Jeez.
COVID.
they made me sit out front while
Yeah.
I'm just
He
tripping.
couldn't even go with me.
Oh my God, bro, you tripping? I keep forgetting you tripping, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
So wait, so what happened? Like after you took the dab, did you like your
So-
lungs shut down? You obviously coughed a lot, right?
I started coughing.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't breathe. And then it was a mix of like a panic attack
Yeah.
with me almost losing conscious. I mean, I have anxiety. I had a
Sure.
lot of anxiety crisis and stuff. But what I had
Sure.
that day was not only an anxiety crisis. It was in the
Yeah.
middle. It was in a mix.
Yeah.
But it was the least of my problems about what I had that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I turned green. He looked at me. He was like, "You look like an olive."
Yeah, it was
Oh, no,
crazy.
dude.
But then after shower, like I lay down in bed, I asked for him to like bring me something to eat. I started like trying to put some blueberries in my mouth
Sure.
just so like something would happen. But then I started to like almost lose consciousness.
Oh my God, dude.
And my lungs burned. I couldn't like take a full exhale because
Yeah.
the lung would hurt.
Yeah.
And
Your
then we
heart
went
rate
like
was crazy,
no one
too.
could count my heart rate.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was,
man.
it was so fast. I mean, I was. You
But
know,
then we had a friend
not
that hopped on
super
board.
confident. I can't-
No, but then we had a
right.
sober friend that hopped on board, and he was just like,
Yeah, it's like 180 plus.
I don't know.
Oh God.
It was to a point you're just like, wow, we gotta maybe make
Yeah.
sure we can.
So cannabis
safe.
is a pretty safe drug unless we fuck it up.
Right. Oh my God,
Yes.
dude. So what was the outcome like?
The outcome
What
was...
they say? What'd you do? You burn your lungs? Like what does the doctor say? to
I
you?
mean...
In Garberville, I
In
mean,
Garberville, I got out of there with the paper saying I had an issue with cannabis use.
yeah.
Oh.
it's
I'm
crazy.
glad
Well
at that
then.
time I didn't have a social security number, so that
Right.
part of my life. It doesn't get connected to who I am today in the United
cool.
States because I was a student, like without a social security
Sure.
number.
Yeah.
I got the social security after we got married and stuff.
Got you. Okay.
It was
Wow.
it was an experience. It wasn't
Alice, you
pleasant at
gotta
all.
relax, homie. So that's never happened again.
I definitely have taken like a couple hot dabs, but not
Not that hot.
like
even
that.
close.
No.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors over at United Nutrients. Trusted by elite growers, United Nutrients delivers clean, reliable nutrition, trusted by top cannabis cultivators for enhancing plant health and maximizing yields, all while being easy to use. Affordable without compromising quality. United Nutrients offers premium nutrient solutions that remain affordable, ensuring growers get the best results without breaking the bank. Sustainability, cultivator-centered innovation. Developed through collaboration with cultivators, United Nutrients' science-backed formulations are designed specifically for cannabis, providing eco-friendly and efficient nutrient absorption to promote healthy and vigorous plants. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. So you made it out of the hospital.
I made it out of the hospital.
You learned your lesson, kinda,
I did.
for the most part. So okay, so what
Every
do
time
you
I took
think
a hot
is
dab,
safe?
it was a mistake. Sorry.
gosh,
It was
gosh,
a
for sure.
mistake from life.
For sure. So what do you think is the safe temp? How much? Like, there's the dab to temp ratio, of course. But like, what do you think is a safe temperature to take some? And how long should you hold it in for? If
So-
you should even hold it in.
So what I understand is that science says that we only need 3 seconds for
Okay.
us to like absorb the cannabinoids and actually the
Okay.
effects we need. If we want to go a little deeper in the science, I suggest people to check out Cannabicam. And shout out to Cannabicam that does a lot of educational, awesome work
Okay.
on the scientifical aspects of cannabis and consumption. And there's a video of her talking specifically about that. And it's 3 seconds. Especially if you're smoking like people smoke in Brazil, spliffs or like the brickweed, like you're just exposing your lungs to toxins for longer, even though you already absorbed the cannabinoids.
Yeah.
That feeling that you get, that you might feel like you're a little bit more stoned because you just like hotboxed and held the smoke for a minute because
Yep.
you're a 15-year-old and you're doing this with all of your friends.
Yeah.
It's like oxygen. You're getting deprived of oxygen.
Yes.
And this is not the effect of cannabis.
Yeah.
So you should not necessarily hold it in. And a lot of old school people do that. Like
I
when I smoked with
know,
my mom for the first
dude.
time,
Yeah,
I was
my
like,
mom
let
too.
it go.
Let it go. They'd
Let
be
it
like,
go."
I know. My mom too. You're just like, what is this?
I just edited shout out my Kujin John Casali from Huckleberry Hill Farms.
I love him too.
He's the man. But I was just editing his podcast last night and I'm watching him hit my joint and he did the that's good, man. That's good. That was nice. I'm
Yes.
like, bro, it's such an old school
It
thing,
is.
bro.
That's
how we
classic.
learn, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, we have no money, so we try and get as high as possible.
Yeah.
So we holding it in, then you'll smoke a Newport after you're done smoking. It increases your high by like 30%. No, you're just cutting off more oxygen to your head
Yeah.
from the, more combustion. And this all makes sense. When I learned that later in life, I'm like, well, damn, that makes sense. But 3 seconds. 3's my lucky number too. That won't be
Yeah,
hard.
3
That won't
seconds,
be
all
hard
you need to get.
forget. Okay,
get
cool.
you where you need-
cool.
where you wanna
Thank
be.
you for that information. That's
I mean,
very
if you want
valuable.
to be deprived of oxygen, maybe you want that. But I won't
Yeah.
judge you, okay?
Yeah,
but-
don't do it. Don't do it. Just smoke better weed. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take a dab, chill out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what's next? Is this when you guys met?
We met.
How'd you guys meet?
We met in a funny way.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
it was
let's
a
go.
little hashy love story.
A little hashy love story. Good
Yeah.
Pizza loves those.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I met him in 2018.
Okay.
It was my second year here.
Nice.
So I came here 2017, stayed a few months, went back to Brazil, came back 2018, stayed
Okay.
a few months, and that's when we met. At 2018, I was working at Sunshine's farm in Humboldt.
Okay.
She's the owner of a brand called Humboldt Grown,
Okay.
and she's a G.
Hell yeah.
She's like my California mama.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
female, badass female, opened doors for me.
Love
I lived
that.
in her living room for 6 months.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I worked in her
That's what's
farm
up.
and like leave, spent the whole, I think it was one of the happiest times of my life. It was 8 hours a day in the garden
Cool.
and diving in the Eel River every day after work because I had to go through the Eel River. So one jump in the water
Beautiful.
and then go home. At that time, before I came, remember that I told you I had the Girls in Green Instagram already?
Yeah.
I mapped out what everyone was doing in the United States.
Okay.
Like I mapped out people from Colorado, California,
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington. I mapped out all the hash makers, everyone, because I was like, I want to learn, I want to get connected, and I want to know what's up. Flynn came in my radar. We followed each other, but we never talked or anything. I just knew he was the guy that would just like spin two buckets at the same time. Because I saw a video, I was like, damn, what's up with that guy?
That's an old video. That's
Okay.
almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's 10
And
years ago. Jesus.
we started talking online. He actually reached out first.
Yeah, I remember when we weren't sure at first. We had to
Yeah,
go
then I
figure that one
scrolled
out
it.
one
I
day.
scrolled. I was like, he was like, no, I didn't talk first. You're the talkative one. I'm the shy one. Of course you reached
Okay,
out
who
first.
shot the first shot?
And I was like, he shot the first shot.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was kind of out
was.
of
Good shot,
character
man.
for you.
Looks like it worked out.
Yeah,
They seem very happy together.
definitely.
I've been hanging with you for a little while. It seems like a good vibe over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, best shot I've ever taken.
Tight,
Yeah.
tight.
And then Flynn, I know that I've been dominating this, but Flynn will get about his story. But that's when we met. I was in Humboldt living at Sunshine, and he was also coming and going to Humboldt a lot, which he will get to his story too.
Yeah.
But we decided to meet up because I wanted to
Nice.
learn how to dry hash with the freeze dryer because I had no idea. I just knew how to dry with pizza boxes.
Oh, yeah, pizza box tech. That's
Yeah, I
right.
used to do the pizza box stacks and stack them up in the room and just have like 50 to 100 pizza boxes in the room. I love the name of your podcast because of that, actually.
Well, thank you. I love that. We're going to probably clip that because that was very fitting for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very
And
cool.
that's when we met because I was like drying this hash and stuff, and I saw him using freeze dryers. I got extra interested. I was like, damn, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Then why is the quality of his hash so much better than mine? My hash looks like lazy people hash. You know,
Tell
like
me more.
I wasn't pulling all the bags, and
Yeah.
I was drying in pizza boxes, and I was doing trim hash. And then I meet this guy that picks me up at the farm. The farmer, Sunshine's husband at the time, gave me a pepper spray because he was like, this guy's picking you up at the farm? Are you crazy? Let's get the pepper spray. So I had to take a pepper spray with
Yeah,
me.
smart.
And he got there, and I just really liked him at first. First glance, I liked him.
Okay.
And then we started talking, I liked him more. But it doesn't mean that we developed something at that time. Like, we talked
No
a
doubt.
lot. We hashed it out a lot.
We hashed it out a lot.
A lot. We talked a lot about freeze
So
dryers. We exchanged hash.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave him I won't call it shitty because nothing Sunshine does is shitty, and it's her trichomes that I was capturing. But my hash was like full spec, loopy fruit
Gotcha.
trim, and he just gave me a jar of like 10 grams of like cookies and cream, 150 full melt.
Ooh.
As a test, right? That he gave me 150
Damn.
full melt
Yeah,
to
I
see
wanted
what's
to
going to
see.
happen.
Yeah.
See what she. Wow.
So
She really understood, though.
and I was like, damn, like, what the fuck is that? You know?
Nice, dude.
And we kept in touch. We went out a few times. At the time, we were both like at ends of relationships and things like this.
Okay.
And the following year, Flynn, I was already coming here to study at the College of the Redwoods to do agriculture. And so I studied like for a couple
Oh,
of
cool.
years in the school over there. I was like, oh no, I want to do it with the visa. I respect all my friends that are here, unregulated, but I'd never had one illegal day in the United
Okay.
States. You know, I always came here with like tourist visa or my student visa.
Okay.
And when I told Flynn I was coming, he said, I have a good opportunity for you because he will go deeper into that. But he has his brand called Fully Melted. And he said, I rent a spot close to where the shop is. So there's no one that stays there. If you want to, you can go to school, stay in that house because that house is empty. Like sometimes people sleep there once or twice a week with multiple rooms, but you can put up a grow there. And then he actually,
I would offer.
I am so happy because he provided me with the opportunity that if he didn't, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Wow.
That he set up the whole grow.
Well, we set it up.
I mean, we set it up, but you invested it. I couldn't invest in that grow. You know, I was coming from Brazil.
Put
you
some
know,
sweat equity in.
Yeah,
you know
sweat
what I'm
equity.
saying?
That
I mean,
counts.
it
does,
did. It did
yeah.
account for the future, but he had to take a leap of faith, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take a leap of faith, and I'm gonna put this Brazilian girl, and she would know how to grow weed
Yeah.
because there was also that. Like I
Yeah,
had to learn
there's
how to
that
grow
part
weed.
too.
There's that part too. So yeah, that's what happened. I came.
Wow.
The grill was supposed to be set up at the time. It wasn't, so we put it up together.
I was a little behind schedule.
It was a little behind schedule.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I got a little stressed. I was like,
well, late season, it's all good.
Yeah, late
we'll get it
season.
done.
Yeah.
But he put it up, like we put it up together, and yeah, I think that what you just said, the sweat equity came with a few rounds.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. So let's shift this story back to you, Flynn.
Sure.
So so you guys met. Let's bring it back. So you mentioned you're from Washington.
I was born in Minnesota and raised there, and then I went out to Seattle for college. So in like 2012.
Okay.
I went out for college and then lived there until 2017, and then that's when I moved down to like Northern California in Sonoma County.
Okay. What were you up to in Minnesota? I don't know too many folks from Minnesota. What happens there? I know it's very cold in the wintertime.
No,
I'm going to generalize. That's really all I know.
Shoveling snow.
Yeah, I come
shoveling
from that,
snow.
from Jersey.
There's a
I've
lot of
shoveled a lot of
agriculture,
snow.
around outside.
Okay.
I grew up in Minneapolis, so Minneapolis, St.
cool.
Paul, pretty big metropolitan area
yeah.
there. And there's a good music scene there, honestly. A lot of good underground hip hop in the 90s, like atmosphere
tight.
set up a pretty dope label there. Shout out Rhymesayers and shit. They got a lot of dope MCs and rappers and shit on there, but more on the underground side of things,
sure.
And then pretty good, weirdly good glass scene. Some nice glass blowers have come out of Minnesota.
Okay.
Ross 4.0, those boys out of Minneapolis and stuff like that. And there's some other people out there. So there's a nice little scene. And weirdly, Minneapolis, even when I was in high school, up to 1 ounce of weed was decriminalized. So it was like a parking ticket, kind of like Brazil, where you could have in the city of Minneapolis, it was just low priority. And if it was it was basically just a fat ticket, as long as you didn't have as I found out, later, as long as you didn't have a pipe or something else, and then they want to write, paraphernalia, and then it's got the F on it. So then you got to deal with all that. But,
Yep.
I got that fine in Utah.
Where were you guys getting weed, bro? Canada?
A lot of
Cali?
beasters from Canada.
Beasters, right? Yeah.
Some Mexican brickweed, but not a whole lot. And
What's
then
a beaster?
Beaster, what is a
they
beaster?
would,
Let's talk about that.
So
Let's
it's
talk about
funny.
that.
It's
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's better than brickweed, but not as good as what we call chronic or just basically good shit from Cali. Rarely did it actually have the strain on it. Sometimes it'd be, back in the day, I got some Mazari Sharif one time that was fire, some Chem D, there was some homegrown around a little bit,
Nice.
you could tell, or some homies had an older brother who had a light or whatever type of thing. But for the most part, just a lot of Cali Bud, Beasters, and a little bit of brickweed, but not a whole lot.
I feel like everybody from our era, not from here, dealt with beasters.
I mean, you had to. They were.
Canada was
they rocked
crushing. Shout out to
numbers.
Canada, dog. You guys were killing it.
Honestly,
That's all I've seen in my neighborhood for many
they
moments,
rocked
bro.
numbers.
So it's like loose weed. It's not pressed.
No.
Then it's
So it's weed. It's just
good weed.
We
but
don't know
loose,
no
not
strain.
pressed.
No, it's just nugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
Like
call
8 pounds of it.
We call it loose.
It smells
weed
like
in
hay.
Brazil. Yeah, it
Sometimes
smells
you
like
get
hay.
a cool batch that didn't
Yeah.
smell like hay. It was mad red hair, super bright green.
Yeah.
And it's just smell like hay, bro.
Just
not too much terps.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from Canada.
Comes from Canada, and there was
You
so
knew it
much
was
of
from
it.
Canada. That was their
They have such a
That was
signature
their thing.
shit.
Yeah, that was their thing. Beasters.
I don't know. I think it's
Damn.
just because of how they had to get it over the border, how they had to grow it up there. They just
Yeah.
had and they had strains, I feel like, that from a production standpoint, those numbers probably made sense. Whatever they were cropping was probably that heavy yielder. You know what I mean?
Bro.
That shit was probably
She was
putting
wet
up-
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
hella.
got so much wet
That's
weight.
You had to
We paid
re-dry
for
it
so
when you
much
got
water.
it, always. It was
Yeah,
so
dude, those
fucking
pounds would
annoying.
go down to 440 real quick,
Easy,
bro.
easy 20,
Bro.
easy ounce of water on every pound
Dude.
for sure.
Yeah, an ounce of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they rock
You
those
know what's up,
margins.
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure,
They know
for
what's
sure.
up. They're
For
smart,
sure, bro.
It's a game. It is. What
And it wasn't
is.
like you could be super picky back
No.
then. You got what you got where it
Lord.
landed, and
Yo.
that was fucking that.
Yeah, you were blessed to have the option of anything. When it got
We
dry,
were.
and then everyone's hitting everybody in town like, "What's up?" and no one has a damn thing. It's just,
Yeah. Well, you remember that? There'd be a big bust in,
Mm-hmm.
the city that you were by, and, it slowed shit down. You saw what that aftermath was like. And, not anymore, man. We live in the never-ending flood days. You know what I'm saying? There's no more droughts.
There's not that cyclical yearly kind of.
No.
it's getting real dry before outdoor season type of vibe. That does
Yeah,
not happen
no,
anymore.
bro.
I hear people talk about that still some days, like, oh, I'm waiting for, you know, the flow to get low, and you're just like, bro, that doesn't happen
Are you?
anymore. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if you should wait
think
for that,
you
bro.
realize.
Just keep going, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the price is the price. Like, the price fluctuates. The market is always moving, you know, but
Yeah, for sure.
waiting for a seasonality thing nowadays is like
Not the move, buddy.
Not the move, yeah.
Not the move. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Kayakor. Clean cocoa trusted by top cultivators. Kayakor premium grade clean cocoa core is trusted by and respected by cannabis cultivators for optimal plant health and performance. It's all about the terps and quality first before yields, which is driven through clean 100% core, which provides smooth stratification throughout the media. Sustainable and eco-friendly. Sourced from eco-friendly coconut fiber produced in our 100% sustainable operation in India. Kaya provides an environmentally conscious solution without compromising cultivation quality. Kaya washes the cocoa multiple times to ensure a clean starting base with less salinity from other cocoa manufacturers. The plastic pot is 100% biodegradable for a sustainable solution. Tailored for cannabis growth, Kaya Core products are developed from direct feedback and collaboration with top cultivators, offering superior water retention, root aeration, and nutrient absorption for healthier, more vigorous plants. They buffer the cocoa to less than 0.3 EC with calcium nitrate to provide the cultivator with a strong starting point for transplant. You will be shocked how clear the runoff is from this clean cocoa. Kaya uses coarse ground cocoa core to achieve the 70-30 blend versus perlite or chunks. Go hit up Kaya Core. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. Okay, sorry. We went off on a Beasters tangent.
I know,
Continue.
right?
And I want to know just one thing.
What's up?
When's the hash hole coming up?
Oh, it's next. It's next.
Okay.
Yeah, it's next. I got
I was
you.
like, he's
Yeah.
there. I was going to say, he's there on the last joint out there.
No, we're good. We're good.
I think this is a little loose too, maybe.
This time on's fire. Can we tighten up my guy's microphone here?
I don't know.
It's-
I
it's
feel like
fine,
it got a little.
We need
Yeah,
some-
I
we need
feel
some-
like it was
You good?
higher before. My bad.
Okay,
Is
so
this it?
if you have technical problems, I have a little one too. Let me just dump
I
this
don't know.
water.
Maybe I'm crazy. Is it too low?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good right there.
Alright.
Can I dump the water here real quick?
Yeah.
So I don't even have to get out?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. I didn't wash it, I guess.
Yeah,
Good.
it's-
It's got ISO in
I'm
it
so
for
glad
sure.
I didn't.
I hit the dab, and honestly, we were on camera talking, and I was first hit, I was like, dang, that's a little ISO-y. Maybe it'll disappear because there's just
yeah,
a little
yeah,
left.
yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've done
that's
that.
funny.
I've done that.
That's
You gotta
funny.
cook that off.
But I was
brother.
like, oh, I don't want to.
Hey,
I don't want to stop the
but
flow.
This is not as bad as taking an ISO sip. Have you done that?
Yo,
I've never taken an ISO sip. Jeez.
You
I have
fill a
taken
water
one,
bottle, like,
and he has-
traveling,
I've seen him
Oh,
taking one too
shit.
by accident.
Never thought
right
of that.
on that. Right on that. Definitely hit
Ooh.
a
Did it go down?
Sharpie on that one.
Did it go down?
No,
you
luckily
swallow-
I spit it
spit
out.
it out, cool.
I swallowed a
Mine went
little
down.
bit.
Mine went down.
Does it
Maybe
get
a
you
little
drunk?
bit, but no.
No, it wasn't
Just-
enough.
just-
It makes you
Okay.
want to throw up.
Makes
That's
you
why,
wanna
like,
throw
you
up,
can
yeah.
buy it as a minor, because, like, you can't really drink it.
Oh, no shit.
They
Gotcha.
put it like a chemical in it that, like, will make it's like Ipecac kind of. I
Got
don't know
it,
if it
got
is
it, got it.
Ipecac, but like that same
sure.
thing. It'll literally make you throw up. You try and drink
For
it.
sure.
Okay, I'm back on track.
All right, cool. So, Minnesota, go.
So yeah, born in Minneapolis, south side of Minneapolis, 35W in Diamond Lake. Grew
That's
up in the same house my whole life. I have one little brother. You
Okay.
know, my family still lives in that same house.
Cool, man.
You know,
Nice.
shout out mom and dad.
Shout out mom and dad. Hell yeah.
So, just a pretty like low key,
Stoner mom.
yeah.
Me too.
Artist, stoner
Solid.
mom,
Me too, yeah.
business mom. She owns a design firm actually, so she does a lot of graphic work
Very cool.
and stuff like that. And yeah, started I believe in like '79. Started that business in Minneapolis.
Wow.
And still going today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so she's a
Hell
real
yeah.
G. And then yeah, I don't know. Grew up, went to high school out there, and just always even back then had a love for like cannabis and hash. Once I kind of like got into it around like 15,
That's
16.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, always loved
I
like
dig that.
Frenchy cannoli, big inspiration. Had a Frenchy cannoli shirt in high school, like in
sick.
no one knew what that shit was in Minnesota,
Yeah,
to be
right.
real, like low key, like teenager, rocking that around on like
Tight, bro.
high school and shit. It was fun.
Love that.
But yeah, it's a great place to live, honestly. Like the lakes in the summer is such a vibe. Like you can bike around Minneapolis. It's a super dope city, honestly. I love it
Tight.
a lot, yeah.
And the
Sorry.
lakes are super pretty also. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many lakes. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. Like,
I've
in
never
the
been
city.
somewhere like that. Like you've never been there,
Never
right?
been.
So when you get out of there on the plane, you just look down and you're just like, what is going on down there?
Yeah, like every neighborhood in the city got hella lakes. You know, it's
No
just
shit.
a lot of lakes. You
Okay.
can bike around. It's very flat, so like you can bike around pretty easy too. Big bike culture. So
Big bike
the
culture,
city
got
was
you.
designed by the same people who designed like Central Park and stuff. It's very organized.
Oh,
you
no
know, like the
shit.
city. Like if you give someone your address, like 46 and Grand, like it's all you know,
pretty
A B C
gridlocked.
D E F G.
Yeah.
You know exactly where
the
to
numbers,
go.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in the city.
Kind of like
It's-
Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No doubt.
So-
Tight.
Yeah,
Tight.
and it's
Sounds cool,
yeah,
man.
it's a dope city. I like it.
Sounds cool. If I go, I'll go with you.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm saying?
good place to go in the summer. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah. not
winter's
the
a
winter.
little.
Chill, bro.
I mean, if it's if you like that,
Nah.
but there's not really good snowboarding even and stuff like that. I feel
Really?
like most people like to. It's all right.
For
You
as
got a
much
lot of
snow
good
you
park
got.
stuff.
Okay.
There's like one good kind of like well-known mountain range there that's like pretty good. But I mean, now when we go to Tahoe, I'm like, damn. If I grew up with this,
Dog,
I mean,
yeah.
my God, this is
That's something
insanity.
else, huh?
You know, that's a whole other
Yeah,
level. That's not even. You can't even compare.
Yeah,
you
it's
know, so-
amazing. Yeah, I just started snowboarding recently, the last couple of years, and it's fun, bro.
Oh yeah, we love it. We love it.
It's fun.
I've been trying.
You're
But as a
good.
Brazilian,
Yeah,
it's-
you're good.
I
Like
feel
we
you,
don't grow
girl.
up with the snow, you know.
I didn't grow up with snowboards at all. A skateboard, yeah, but like
Plus, in Brazil, it's like
Snowboard's
such a
different.
rich sport. If there's a family that everyone snowboards, you're like, damn, you're loaded.
right.
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
for real.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
If you think that here in the United States, imagine in Brazil.
yeah. for
Imagine
sure.
times 5 the money.
Yeah.
But what y'all do have is some of the best skateboarders.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
crazy
Unreal
talent.
skateboard.
Crazy
scene
talent,
in
yeah.
You
São
see that
Paulo.
lady, the Fadinha, the girl,
Yeah.
At the Olympics? Yeah.
Raissa.
Haisa. I was thinking of the.
There's the other girl that lives in California too.
Yes,
I
she
forgot her
just had a
name now.
kid too. Oh God, I'm forgetting her name. I feel
So
terrible.
the-
She's like the one, but there's a new one.
So Raissa has conquered even crazier things than her because
Yeah.
she started conquering things when she was.
She's young and tiny, right?
Super.
Yeah.
She
Super
started
young.
conquering
It's
things when she
crazy.
was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
She got medals now in the Olympics and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
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 She
It's
is
raw. Shout out
amazing.
to Brazilian skateboarders for real.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you, sir. What you got?
Um,
So now you're in Washington, right? How was the college experience in Washington? Like, what was that vibe like?
So I went to school at Seattle University and like
Cool.
in the city on Pill Hill, kind of where all the hospitals are there.
Okay.
That like, you know, like I don't know. What's the hospital show that you love? That's like
Grey's
based
Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy is like based on that
Yeah,
area and
word.
stuff.
I can't
and
believe you like looked at that
it's so
every day
funny.
and I
I
watched all
know.
those
Yeah,
seasons.
no, living in that. A lot of nurses at my school. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of nurses. I went to school in the College of the Arts for economics.
Okay.
So I got an arts degree in economics and then a
Nice.
minor in finance. But yeah, no, the like first day I think I landed in the city, I figured out how to get a med card. You know,
There
I
you
was
go.
like just on it immediately. First like year I was at school there, I got hooked up and figured out how to get a job at like a hydro store. So I worked at a
Okay.
hydro store in Bellevue, like
Nice.
outside of the city a little bit.
Cool.
And then just honestly blessed, you know how connections get made and you just meet the right people. I met one of my homies, Casey, and his dad, Dean, just like really, for whatever reason, like liked me, saw my love for hash and the plant and stuff, and hooked me up with my first spot to grow where the landlord was cool with it. We had medical back then, like the RCW 69, whatever I forget
Okay.
what the law was that everyone had on the thing. But yeah, got my first grow going. Luckily worked at the grow store I worked at. The boss was like, yo, pay me back when you harvest, like grab whatever you need. So
Nice.
just super blessed up to like start out well ahead of like I think a lot of people. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was
that's solid, bro.
that was amazing.
That's a testament to your character, though. People don't take care of scumbags. You feel me? Like, you're probably a good person, good heart.
Yeah, I mean, I
looked
did
out
a
for
lot
you,
of
you know?
bought a lot of trim from my boss before I was making bubble hash, and like
There you go.
I used to rent a
Breaking
house
bread
with
is
like
also
yeah,
helpful.
oh yeah, definitely
You know?
like 6 or 7 other people in Seattle, like homies, you know, in college,
Tight.
that type of vibe, and just
Tight.
they were cool with me making hash in the yard all the time, and I was just always grinding, working,
Yeah,
vibing,
man.
going to school. Like
Cool,
I wasn't
man.
really partying a whole lot or doing that type of thing. I
Okay.
like.
He wasn't even partying much till he met me.
Yeah, no, you showed me how to have fun, really. But yeah, I was just always like, I
Okay.
figured out how to get rental houses and blow those out and just like really go at it because of how they structured the law there. There was so much
Yeah.
like each property could have 3 patients and 45 plants. So
Yep.
I'd grow big plants, like
That's right.
sometimes on a 4-lighter. One time I did like a 30-gallon cookies and cream on a 10 by 10 room, you know,
Damn.
like netted up crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, I got pictures deep on my Instagram. You gotta go
Fire.
deep to find those.
I
but
think
yeah.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah, it's
before.
a type one. That's one of my most proudest ones. It was crazy clean canopy too. It was nuts.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it was fire. But yeah, started there and then kind of that's where I learned cultivation and, really started the Wooksauce brand. The first brand I had there that some people know, like back when I was selling hash and like parchment paper and stuff. Didn't know anything about branding or doing anything like that, back in the day when there wasn't even that many people making hash. Like went by like Flintstone Farms.
Fire.
Name's Flynn was pretty
Easy.
over there. And then, eventually in like 2014, I think, end of 2014 or 2015. 2014. I started Wooksauce and then just kind of started running with that.
Where did that name come from? It's fire, by the way, but I'm curious.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Me and the homies were just around, and I was like, man, I got to figure out, like, I started getting tuned into the game. I'm very economics minded. I was looking at California. I was starting to do work down there with stuff and, like, figuring out, like, man, if I want a future, too, because I saw how recreational is flipping over in Washington, like, I got to create a brand, like, a strong brand. And I feel like, for me, I felt like Flintstone Farms wasn't branded the way I wanted it to be, like, elevated the way I felt the hash that we make is like, it's a very like high-end product.
No doubt.
So like very like artisanal, very like a lot of love and effort put into it. I didn't like the cartoon vibe at the end of the day.
Sure.
I just grew up,
Yeah,
decided.
no doubt.
to a cartoon, I think.
Yeah, I just decided like, I got to evolve from this. So I just wanted to start another brand and like move on from that. So yeah.
Nice.
But why Wook? Like Wook
Yeah,
had
do you
the same
consider yourself a
connotation?
Wook? Or
I mean, definitely, like, when I was going to college in Seattle, it was right by 7 Point Studios, which was where, Quave Glass was blown glass over there, Storm and Norman, Pat Lee, like, Perp Skirp, Nate Dizzle, he was like the owner kind of guy, and it was super cool space because basically it was like the hangout spot for all the like people who knew what was up, like all the people who like good flower, good hash, good glass, like the homies who came into town to shop would go there all the time. Everyone's blowing glass. You could like rent time on the torch. They had classes. They had glass to buy there. It was in this big warehouse, like right in downtown, like right down the hill from my college, like right outside of downtown, like super dope. Like
tight,
honestly, like big ups to Swiss Perk for putting that up. Like
that sounds sick, dude. And this is in Washington.
And yeah, back in the day.
Wow.
Sadly, it's shut down now, I believe.
doubt.
But like it was literally for me the like cultural center point of how the style of hash that we have now got going, because like the only people that really saw the value in that back in the day and who were just crushing it and like were like the glass blowers a lot of times, they were the people who were really like, yo, I want that shit. Like that's that fire. That's what I want to be smoking on. That's what I need to be high on to get my creativity going and all that type of stuff. So
It's the Wooksauce.
it was a very like
The Wooksauce,
it was a
baby.
community, like those early dabber dudes with torches and always rolling around with rigs and stuff. Like they were all big bearded dudes, so they just like Wooks were a thing in Washington. Like
No doubt.
Washington Wooks were a vibe.
Washington
like,
Wooks, let's go.
and it was just
Sounds like a dope baseball team or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
that would be a good
feel
sports
me?
team for real. The Washington Wooks for
Washington
real.
Wooks, bro.
That's a
Hell
fire
yeah.
one.
Yo, I remember when I heard that term for the first time. I was like, yo, what is that? And then I learned, I was like, oh shit, that's kind of fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know?
It is.
And that's actually how all this came up this morning with my son. I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing a couple today. He asked me what I was doing today. I was like, yeah, Wooksauce Winery. I was like, Paul, you know what a Wook is? He's like, nah. I was like, good, 'cause you're fucking 16. You're not supposed to know. But yeah, I explained it to him, whatever. And that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, why California? I mean, I'm sure why. It's the Mecca, but when?
Like
And what
really.
was your entry into Cali like?
I fully moved here in 2017, but I was like doing work here under Prop 215 before that, like kind of getting my base going before I was able to like move and like afford a property and like really move down here and do what I was trying to do on, get a license and go, move toward that recreational model that clearly was coming. I had a background in economics with my education, so like I saw the writing on the wall, like, how things were done in the past is not how it's going to continue, and the whole market is going to get really crazy. You know, I didn't, with my company in Humboldt, like we didn't take on, we have no investors and stuff. It's
Solid.
just like fully funded by the people, the like partners that I have that started it. My one partner like grew up in Humboldt, super legacy, all of them. My other
Hell
partner,
yeah.
Sheldon, he like has written a book about like Diary of a Dope Dealer. You know, he's been in the game since the 80s on like a
Wow.
lot of levels. Like,
Fire.
you know, they're all like really OGs in the game.
That's
so.
a great name, by the
Yeah.
way. Diary of a Dope Dealer. Is that a
It
book?
is.
I would like
It is
to
a book.
purchase
Yeah,
this
yeah.
book.
You can,
Sounds
I think you
fucking
can
great.
get it on
That's
Amazon
fucking
straight
tight,
up.
yeah.
It's him. It's so funny because it's him, like a really old picture of him with upside down sunglasses, like
Let's
a
go.
bandana, and in Bloxburg, if you know where Bloxburg is, out
No.
in Humboldt
Okay, cool,
area,
cool,
kind of
cool.
like NorCal. It's a deep spot. A lot of people grow a lot of weed there.
Tight,
you know, it's a
tight.
big
I like it.
cannabis community area out there. You know, deep in the redwoods.
And a unique guy. I'll say that.
Yeah, he is a unique guy for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the title of a book like that, I do not doubt that for a second.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
It's a good one.
Definitely.
Tight, man. So Wooksauce Winery, right? So it's how long was that born before you moved here?
Before I moved to Cali, for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
like a
And then you
long-
came here and formulated
Yeah.
the team and the business, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So, and you guys specialize in hash production, correct? No
That's
flower?
all we do. Yeah, all we've been doing. Honestly, if I'm honest, I don't even think I really have, like, if another grower was to ask me about cultivation, I would be, you know, have, I guess, plenty of opinion because I guess I've done it. I feel like strong and I've done it a number of times,
Yeah.
at least at some level, whatever. But if someone was to ask me about drying or curing, I would be like, I'm not your guy, bro. Like, I've
Got it.
literally dried, I think the first 2 rounds that I did out of my first grow that I had, I literally dried and gave to my boss because it was Dutch treat from him. He sold hella Dutch treat. He had that's like
that.
all he grew. He monocropped like a couple strains really, but he had
Okay.
like couple like 30, 40, 50 light rooms, and he'd do all Dutch treat, all netted like crazy. He'd be, you know, that was just his thing. So I just given to
Tight.
him to pay back the thing, and you know, whatever.
Yeah, you worked it out.
Yeah, I mean, the first round was rough, if I'm honest. Like, I did not understand watering. Real talk. Like,
Yeah.
the way, and it's funny because he just, like, handed me a sheet of paper and was like, here you go. And, like, then, you know, and other than that, he never really,
He just
like,
gave
came
you
there,
SOPs,
helped it.
and he was like,
like,
"Go
yeah,
get 'em."
like, this is it,
Yeah.
buddy. Like, this is how you do the mix. Like, you're good. Like, don't overwater them was the only thing, really. I remember, like, getting beat into my head. Like, if you overwater these things, they're just going to have a real fucking hard time coming back. So,
Dude,
I
that is a tough
underwatered.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Yeah, I just underwatered and really didn't understand, like, you know, I didn't understand how to listen to the plant yet at the end of the day, and just like be able to walk into a room, look at a plant, and immediately see like either what's needed. You know, growers know, like you can walk into a room and you can literally just tell like by how the air feels or how the plant looks or the lights are off or the air movement is off or something. You're like, something ain't right, and then you go deep in, figure it out, or you're like, all right, they're jamming, and then you know what you did last time. You know, all right, I'm gonna give they're in this period where I should give them a little more. I need to start pulling back on something or whatever.
Yeah.
You learn those things, especially with each strain, and you know as you grow as a cultivator and stuff. But yeah, I did not crush it the first round by any means.
What's up, fam? Just want to take a second to shout out my sponsors over at Buck Mountain Cannabis Delivery. Single source flower, rosin, hash holes, and pre-rolls. All produced in the Sierra foothills of Nevada County. Always fresh depths and light assist direct from the farm. Their product is never more than 6 months old from harvest. Grown with passion and obsession to produce the best sun-grown cannabis possible. And if it's from Buck Mountain, you know it's smoking. Serving Grass Valley and Sacramento. Go check out the menu at buckmountaincannabis.com. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. That's all right.
A little rough, but
No,
we
not many
got
people
there
do.
after the second round for sure.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
And
So
that's something we don't complete each other because both of us don't know how to dry weed properly.
I know, right? That's something we don't know how to
Can't
do.
do that for us too.
Yeah. Yeah.
there's your hash roll.
We have a hash roll.
Yeah, you do.
Awesome. Love it.
Alice is a G. She said, well, I don't really smoke flower. You want to roll a hash roll, I'll smoke some flower. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
she holds it
Let's
down.
go.
10 toes down. For
I
real.
feel
She
it.
loves
I feel it.
that.
Like
in
your style, like
Brazil,
your
I
moves.
shifted. It was a big shift for me from the brick weed to the shitty hash. But once I went to the shitty hash, I never turned back to the brick weed. I was like,
it's
always
not
hash.
shitty. It's just a certain.
Babe, it was
amount.
shitty. Believe me,
Alright.
it was like black hash with the mold
Alright.
sometimes.
Full spec, baby.
Yeah.
No,
full
no,
spec.
it's
beyond
not. It's not
that,
even
man.
ice water hash. A lot of times it's like hash made of aerosol, and we smoke it in Brazil because it was what we had. It was
Okay.
like a Paraguayan, like black dark hash.
Mm.
It wasn't even the Moroccan dry sift.
Gotcha.
I met Moroccan dry sift, like the Poland kind of style hash, the pressed like bricks. Few years later, it was the hash that it would literally fall like a piece of it, like we call it the meteors. Meteors, is that the
Meteor.
word? Meteor.
Meteors, yeah.
Meteors in English, like they would fall on your clothes and they would just burn holes of like your clothes.
Oh
would
yeah,
be
yeah,
burnt
yeah,
holes.
yeah, yeah. I know you're
From
talking
the-
about.
yeah.
But it's different. Like
Yeah.
if I smoke bubble hash, that doesn't happen.
No. I know
But
you're
that
talking
one did.
Yeah. I've smoked some of that hash. I feel like if that's how it burns,
Yeah.
we should just get a random ass hash, put it in blunts, smoke, not making these cool hash holes, just kind of sprinkling it like an infused.
Yeah.
You know what I
just
mean?
like chopping it up, evening
Yeah,
it out with
yeah.
the flour, and you smoke it.
Yeah.
Now the hash roll game, honestly, for me, for whatever reason, it changed the way I interact with. Like, you really taste the hash so well versus
Yeah.
like just mixing it into the joint.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
And that's my little bit of my issue with the flour. Like, I think I'm not a flour judge, or I'm not like the person that knows the most about flour. But 10 out of 11 flour joints I smoke are harsh for me.
Yeah,
I like when I can't taste any of the green.
yeah.
Like some people like that.
I think you would like
experience,
good
right?
pizza because that's one of my checkpoints on the QC.
Yeah.
Yeah, cannot burn my throat, cannot be harsh,
Yeah.
nice and smooth, enjoyable.
And
Yeah.
there's two things. So there's the smoothness and how enjoyable it is, like on this inhale, but also on the taste.
Flavor
So-
translation is one of mine too.
Yeah.
Flavor translation, flavor longevity.
Are we smoking good pizza here?
Yes, yes, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is Gelonade grown by the homie Dave from Preferred Gardens. If you
Oh,
like
nice.
Gelonade, you'll
Dry puff's nice.
yeah, the dry puff's nice. Yeah,
Look, it's a very interesting taste, actually.
yeah, dude, that's gonna mix well with the Talimon.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think that's
fire.
gonna be a good time.
I'll let you.
Well,
decide
very
when
nice
to
roll, too. Look at
blaze
that,
it.
Oh,
y'all.
thank you.
Yeah, you really roll it proper. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
curled up.
I was raised with the real samurais in this game. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? Like
yep.
you see over there, that's proper doinks over there. We got
Yeah.
CGO, Bruno Rolls. They're all in this building.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
there's no shortage of good roll and Jake rolls. No shortage of good rollers around here to learn from. You know what I'm saying? And I roll fucking 5 joints a day for how many years? Like
Yeah, practice. You put your 10,000 hours in. I
put
feel
my
like
10,000 hours in. I mean,
Yeah.
I just did the math the other day. Just off the podcast, I rolled 3 to 4 joints, and we're over episode 100. So what's that? You know,
Yeah. It all
Damn.
adds
Adds
up
up.
for
That's
sure.
a lot of joints.
it's a lot of joints.
Yeah.
Just on the stream. On the stream,
Just,
no,
yeah,
on the
that's it.
podcast.
You know, and there's always the behind the scenes joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Vacation joints, like 20, 30 on vacation.
Yeah,
you feel me?
going
Like,
hard.
Come on.
Yeah, we smoke a lot of spliffs in Spain too and stuff.
I bet.
wonder
Are you
how
guys
many
going to
spliffs-
Barcelona this year for
Always,
Cannabis?
yeah.
We normally
Always.
go. I've been
Normally.
going
I'm
since.
going for my first time.
I'm going
Oh,
since
cool.
2016.
Nice.
Like every year.
I love
Nice.
it. I think
Yeah.
that's my literally the event or part of the year I look forward to the
Yeah.
most. I love that city a lot.
Yeah, I'm about to build that into my annual regimen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
you
is
should.
nice.
The first year.
It's really
Get ready for the food.
yeah.
I
The
can't
food's
wait, bro.
incredible. The people
Listen.
are incredible. The hash scene is different and incredible and reinvigorating in a lot of ways to
Yeah.
go when you come from the Cali side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Yeah, I'm very interested in foreign terps, foreign food. I hear the food's incredible. I've been in Barcelona once, but it was just like on a cruise. It was during the day. It was great. Actually, that was the first time I found weed in Europe, so that was dope. Some guys from Chicago ran down on us. This is like 06, like 4X white tees, big pants. Like we spotted us out of fucking nowhere on the
Yeah.
beach. You know what I'm saying?
Signal sort of.
Yeah. So we connected with the Chi-Town homies. They got us some weed, and it was amazing. We got to go back to the boat with some smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a blast.
Oh, I
And
know.
hope
I know
we
it.
meet up
I
and
know
have
it.
dinner out there
We
too.
will.
Yeah,
We will. Let's
there's
do it.
so many good
Let's do it.
Spanish and Italian places.
I
There's
ain't
so
been
many
hearing
good
there's so many good Italian
places.
spots,
Unreal.
yeah.
We go
I-
to more Italian food than Spanish.
Nice.
Also,
I watch the stories. All my homies are sending me videos, of pizza and pasta. You know what I'm saying?
No, they have great restaurants.
Yeah.
Shout
Every
out
time we go,
Cañete,
yeah, shout out Canete for sure.
Paco Marago, fire.
Don't bring the whole names up like this, man.
Yeah,
Because
they're
then it
gonna
gets
get
harder and
blown
harder
up.
for us to book
True.
when we're there.
No,
gotta
Because
shut
all
those
the
up.
Americans are gonna go and
Yeah,
gonna
right.
try
gotta
to
shut my mouth
Keep
for
it
real.
low. Keep it low.
Those are the bigger spots, though, not those little baby joints.
Oh, don't tell the baby
Yeah,
ones.
No,
we
no.
won't mention none of those.
Yeah.
Not on the air, at least.
That's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. So is this around the time where you guys met up?
We met.
Are we about?
20
Yeah, we're almost there. Like it's 2017.
So
we
continue
moved.
with your story
Yeah.
until you guys move.
When did you start Fully Melted? It was
So I
2017.
started 2018.
Okay, so
technically.
then it was the year we met.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
I moved into my property like September 2017, like right before the Santa Rosa fires. So like literally I moved into my property in Sebastopol, and then the whole city burned down like within a week
Damn,
almost.
bro. I
of moving.
remember
So
that,
scary.
dude.
I can't
Yeah.
even
Shit.
imagine what you must have felt. You're just like, I just got a property,
Dog, I
and then
remember
Biggest
that.
L I think I took in my life, maybe too. It's crazy
It
because they
wasn't.
shut the power off.
Oh, okay,
Well,
maybe I was.
No, it was. I was not used to California wildfire season. I did not understand what that meant in reality, especially like living not in a major city.
Yeah.
Like they shut. We had to evacuate for 5+ days. They wouldn't let us back onto the property. My generators ran out of battery. They shut the power off, so all my freezers got fucked. That's why, honestly, when we first met, this is a funny story, and why I fell in love with spliffs. Like I never really smoked spliffs before I met
No
this
doubt.
girl. You
No
know what I'm
doubt.
saying?
I'm
And
not
now
proud
I'm
of the story.
I'm
To
there.
the dark side, girl.
Yeah.
No, I'm not proud of
It's
it.
cool. It's cool.
Nah.
It happens.
It's great. I
He
love
seems
it.
he's like he's
honestly.
fine with it. It's
But
fine.
my
It's
spliff
cool.
tastes great, and then I make people that don't like tobacco like it.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good, especially the Brazilian tobacco. It's
Yeah.
fire. The Bembolado one is amazing. But it's weird. I can't find a good tobacco for spliffs here in the U.S. But anyway, whatever. The funny story is, because of that power outage, I lost a bunch of freezers of weed. Hash that, wasn't rosin got,
Sure.
caked up and just kind of unusable. A lot of rosin was just kind of meh, too. Like,
Yeah.
when it sits there in the heat for that long,
Yeah.
it's just loses quality. It is what it is. We all
Sure.
know that game with the coolers and
Yeah.
the freezers everywhere and
Oh, yeah.
stuff and whatever. But when she came to my house for the first time, she was kind of looking in the freezer in one spot, and she's like, "Oh, what's all this stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, it's all trash. Like, this is all shit." And it was literally like I had just done a like 30, 40 different pheno hunt, individual, like washing like 300 or 400 wet grams sometimes only of stuff to see what the yield was and
Yeah.
whatever. That's when actually that was the pheno hunt that I picked, the Bop Gun number 7 that we still run and have today and put out stuff of and stuff
cool.
like that. But yeah, that was all these different individual phenos and microns and shit. And she was like, "Oh, this is perfect for split. Let me roll one up right now."
You know why? Because he had no power for what 3 days probably
No,
out of
more
the
than that.
whatever.
They
You know,
cut
the
it
hash kind of
quick.
caked, but then suddenly it was back to the freezer, so it just stayed perfect. It was a
Okay.
perfect
When I got
texture.
home, I turned the freezers
No,
back
it was
on.
perfect texture for split fetch. I was so happy for a whole year. I smoked that for a
No
whole
shit. Had a
year.
nice
it was
head
it's
stash.
good-
No,
yeah, it was
the
fire.
nice head stash was a dope ass head stash.
Let's
and then
go.
I got spoiled because I was just like, I'm just like spliffing up the 90U and the 120, which is
Damn, baller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
First
baller.
pull 90.
Woo,
shit.
first
Let's
pull,
go.
second pull,
Remember
90.
that landmine?
Never forget.
Yo.
Never
Tell
forget.
me about the landmine. What is this?
So archive genetic. It's
Okay.
like Pacific Northwest dog shit crossed with something from their line. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
For sure.
People could look it up, so I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But it had this crazy pinene flavoring. I don't even know. It was so crazy and aggressive. It was like you're way better, honestly, at like describing
Yeah, it was
things and
pungent in a
smelling.
way, but in a pinene way. It was very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow a little citrus too, but not like orangey or
I
anything
got
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
But I also only like experienced the cured like
Now the cure was very close. It's like grape gas when you cure it. The nose is so similar.
Yeah.
You know, when you cure some things, they change a lot. Some hashes, I feel like when you cure them, they really
Yeah, like
the nose stays
cookies
really
and cream that is
similar.
like it was your staple even before I got here. Like
Yeah.
that's a hash I didn't like here at all.
Yeah, it doesn't cure well.
Doesn't cure
I feel like
well.
those lighter vanilla cream notes just get lost in the cure.
Yeah.
Cured stuff, I feel like you need that strong fruit or gas to like
Yes.
bring you through that process for whatever
But that
reason.
landmine it was
Yo, it was
different.
nuts.
And
So
it
you guys
just
still run that, the landmine?
no, he
Lost
lost. He
that.
lost
Lost it.
everything.
Lost that
So
in
it was
the
a
fire.
one time.
Lost
it was
all
just like,
those
what is that?
little
Oh my
clones in the
god!
fire. I took what I could and saved what I could of like the staples I knew, because like literally we were like in hotels for like a week, like 5 days, like trying to figure out like what we were doing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's nuts.
Rough,
It's
dude.
horrible.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was, our year 2 here. We got here in 17. I remember that. First time really seeing like what this fire shit was all about.
Yeah.
Scary.
It is scary. Even in Sac, bro, a lot of that smoke came here. I'm walking around, no mask on, just like, man, it smells like a campfire, whatever. And that shit would fuck me up. My pops up. We were like out for like 2 days just for like the pollution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sick.
Right now, we're having the biggest fire in Brazil that has ever happened.
Really?
Yeah, the city of São Paulo was like dark for like a whole
Oh,
week and stuff. Like the
shit.
whole world is a little crazy at the moment on
Yeah.
the fire.
Yeah.
On the fire, but it's insane that
It's
it's
wild,
happening
dude.
everywhere and every year more.
Yeah.
So no monocropping, everyone. Let's bring some biodiversity out there.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Well, so what happens next with you two? What are you two are together now, this power couple, like plowing through shit. Like what's the move?
So we got more like tuned in together in 2019 after he gave me this like awesome opportunity, of coming here. And then when we started working together, we literally fell in love. And
Nice.
it was nice.
Yeah.
Like it was like a nice time. Like I was living a very different life because I
Sure.
grew up in like a big city.
Yeah.
And kind of like New York, like São Paulo.
Yeah.
Like a lot of culture, a lot of music. And then damn, suddenly I moved to Humboldt, southern Humboldt. He wasn't even there with me, like most of the times. He would come to like visit sometimes and stuff. And it was very nice to see that life and live that life with him. Like live the life in the countryside in a way.
Yeah.
Live the life of like of an OG place actually in California, because Garberville was this big source of all of it. There was
Oh,
so
yeah.
much culture. And I got there on the last good year. Like I saw Garberville in 2017, 2018. In 2019, there was no one anymore.
End of Prop 215 era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was when I got there, things were not as like, right, like as flourishing for Garberville. But it was nice because we started living like an interesting life together. Like me studying up there, he in Sonoma. In the weekends we would meet. He would go. I would either drive down or he would go up to pick me up, and then we would I would have the grow up there, take care of the grow, and then in the weekends we would come down to wash because the like Wooksauce is one thing. It's like our company, and Fully Melted is his company with his partners.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like two different
Nice.
things. Fully Melted, it's like his legal, like his license. I would say that. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's where we got the
his
manufacturing
licensed
license in
business.
Humboldt.
cool.
We do a lot of more like recently white labeling work and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. But we're looking at re-entering the rec market. We had some litigation things we had to handle from the 2018 era of no one getting paid. Decided to
it.
pull back a little from the retail shelves and just like reorient
Got
it
it.
to a business model that was sustainable for
Sure.
people who didn't have money to lose.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
humble people. We don't
Yeah.
come from vast amounts of money, so we
I
have to
can
be
relate.
realistic with things on the business side.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sometimes it's good to pop out of the rec market, regroup, and pop back in.
Yeah, we just
You
did
know?
a lot of work with other brands and powering, their products
that's cool.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
hell yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So at that time, we were just like, I was studying. I was like starting Girls and Green as a real business too, like the LLC. I was like getting every round more involved at Wooksauce till I conquered my sweat.
Yeah, she
My
had,
sweat equity.
literally
Yeah, you did.
50 she didn't start at 50-50. She had to earn it. And
No, I
Yeah.
started hourly, y'all.
yeah,
So
for real.
everyone
right.
knows.
Literally,
I started-
literally, she started logging hours,
That's how you do it, man.
following the
Yeah.
recipe, just learning, and she was probably the easiest person I've ever had to teach, smart,
Nice.
listened,
She was hungry.
inquisitive. Yeah,
She
and
was hungry.
Yeah, she had the drive for real.
Yeah. Yeah, hungry people will learn fast, and you can't stop a hungry person from eating. So that's very, and then you get hungry and coachable, and
Yeah.
then you guys fell in love. That sounds like a fucking sweet deal.
And then
Yeah.
we started living a little bit of a crazy life, I would say, like in 2019, 2020, because we had the grow up there. First, it was just me and the grow, and then he started going more to the grow. And then I started going more to the grow down, like in Sonoma. like through the years and with the years, and then it started being like a little overwhelming, like to go through
running 3 flowering gardens,
running all the gardens, and just like they were many hours apart, and washing, and then it's a lifestyle that I wasn't used with, like always harvesting, always fresh rosin, always harvesting, always cloning, always transplanting. It wasn't like a cycle of things
we
properly.
did it all real,
like it
in-house.
wasn't
Small team, me and her, a couple hands to help at heavy labor points, but we got the mothers, we got the genetics, we're making sure everything's watered, cropped. It's a lot of work.
It got a little overwhelming, especially to like for me at least, to deal with that with school, like driving up, like the school was still like an hour away, and that was the way I had to like keep my visa and stuff like this. So it started getting a little
and running Girls in Green
Girls in Green.
This girl really,
you are a powerhouse, dude. Both of you, but in your own right, you are.
She's on another level than me.
Honestly. Very impressive. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, Grove Bags are hands down the best way to store your cannabis. Forget jars, forget Mylars. Nobody does it like Grove Bags. Listen, it's a 6-layer, non-static bag. State-of-the-art technology. It's gonna keep your weed fresher for longer. It keeps your cannabis between 58 and 62% humidity at all times, the optimal humidity to store cannabis. It's gonna increase your shelf life, help prevent mold, weight reduction. Hands down, it's the best product out there. We don't use anything but Grove Bags at Good Pizza. And especially if your product is in stores, we all know there's some shelf life issues at the stores. This is gonna keep your product lasting longer on those shelves. So when your customer goes to try it, it's gonna be fresh cannabis. Listen, if you wanna store your cannabis the proper way, use Grove Bags. Use promo code PIZZA with 3 Z's. That's PIZZZA. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Where'd you get that work ethic from? What do you think? Parents? Just got it from mom? Shout out to mom.
My mom is amazing.
She
has all her like hardships and issues, because everyone does. But she was the one that always taught me that I had to be able to like provide for myself. Like I love this man, of course. We live a shared life. But for me, it's very important to also be independent.
Sure.
I got that work ethic from her. And I also got the work ethic to not make money with what's not ethical.
Cool.
So I never took one sponsorship money for Girls in Green from like nutrient company that I don't support.
Okay.
I never from a vaporizer company that I don't support, or something that totally doesn't make sense to me. Like I have actually said a bunch of no's that would have been easier for Girls in Green to keep afloat and survive, because I also it's kind of like it's all self-invest also with Girls in Green.
For sure.
We did. I won't deny that in the first year we had an angel investor that gave us 20,000 reais a month for like 8 months to get the company, and he gave us for free. Like he didn't say, hey, I need 1%. No, he just like, I think y'all are doing a good job. Do it. If I'm giving you this money so you can stand on your foot and legalize everything, and if we need you, be on our side for something.
Cool.
He never even asked.
Wow.
So it was,
awesome.
It helped out at the time. But I think the work ethic came from my mom. It doesn't mean that it's normally, when you see it from the outside, it sounds like awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're inside living this thing that you always have to be independent and provide and stuff, it gets also a little overwhelming, because I overwork a lot. He complains with me often, like that I'm like.
It's usually the other way around. Usually the ladies say, hey, when you coming home, honey? But you're out there beating the pavement up.
But he was
hustling.
Like that before, so it's funny because we
flip-flopped. No doubt.
We flip-flopped.
Taught me how to enjoy life a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
I was just
workhorse.
Yeah, when she first came to the house, it was just like, it's like a 3-bedroom house, and it's just got
empty 3-bedroom house.
A bed, a king bed. It
was not a house.
King bed. I like a king bed. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And that's it. Like I just went there to sleep almost. You know what I'm saying?
I looked and I was like, there's nothing that makes it feel like a house here, amor.
Yeah. You need a woman's touch to make a house. Yeah, let's just be real.
Yeah, but things did get a little overwhelming, and I'll take a quick stop here real quick. I don't know how we approach the subject of us getting like
So
our girls busted
The way
and
I
like
put it,
getting
we had
our plants
a
cut down.
disagreement with code enforcement, and had
That
to
stopped us.
chop plants, and then we
okay.
had a fine and we had to deal with all
Yeah.
that shit. It's not,
Gotcha.
we dealt with it legally. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
So I'll rephrase.
Yeah.
I felt like we were living this like overwhelming life, traveling a lot, like always on the road, up and down, washing late, cropping late, studying, and at least me on my end working. And then the time came where I voluntarily stopped.
Took your first real big L in the game.
I did.
Ooh.
She
I took it with him.
yeah.
I didn't get out and say, no, bye, now I'm off. No.
Yeah, sadly, we
Yeah.
had a
We took
little
some big L's together.
disagreement with code enforcement and had to chop some plants and say, goodbye to some things. And that's how
Goodbye
that-
to a
that's
lot
how
of
it goes
things.
sometimes.
We have to say goodbye
Yeah.
to a lot of things, one after the other. But
Yeah.
the hard things come with good things in the end, right?
That's right.
It was on that moment that guy lost his like mindset of like only being a workhorse, and we started traveling the world a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
We visited a bunch of countries. We started going to all the events because he was like a in the house hash maker, and I was
Sure.
like, oh, worldwide, let's go try all the different hash in the world. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Had that green leash tight.
yeah, so
Yeah.
without the green leash, we started doing amazing things and exploring the world. And also, the best come out of that whole situation was working with the amazing farmers we work today.
Cool. Cool. I
And-
love that.
Because
What-
before it was all single source, we didn't touch anyone else's material, and then suddenly we had to not do a single source at
Yeah.
all and touch
There's
a lot
nothing wrong
of
with that.
people's magical
You know?
material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that what you guys do now? You guys purchase fresh frozen from other farms, like do projects with other farms, stuff like that?
Yep.
So you're not growing anymore for resin production. You're
We
partnering with farms.
we do our legals, well, 12
We have our
this
legal
year.
12 this
Okay,
year.
I got
So
you.
we grow
Gotcha.
big
For
in
sure.
the backyard.
Big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make a little bit.
Is this where you guys live now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I gotta come check
Sonoma.
you guys out, man. That's not
Please
a far
come.
drive at all.
Yeah,
No,
Sebastopol
please
is a really
Yeah.
cool city.
We're welcome to. Hey, this guy. Also, when I met him, the house was empty and he didn't know how to cook. So total boy style, right?
Yeah.
This guy now, boop, something
their
shifted.
boy.
He's making the best pizza dough
Let's go.
ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
I
talk
really
about
got
it.
into the pizza and the pasta, fresh made pasta. game.
Nice.
I love my
Good for
Italian
you,
food.
Pizza
bro.
night.
Barcelona,
Grande,
we were
bro.
talking a bit about Barcelona, how
Hell
it's
yeah.
so much Italian food, and that's really what, I don't know, where I really found my love of Italian food, because there it's on a whole other level.
Oh, yeah.
When I was really young, I went to Italy with my parents, and in Tuscany, honestly, I've experienced some, like,
Cool.
I remember the restaurant and like the owner coming to the table and like talking to us and stuff, and it literally was just a simple like ragu, right? Like only like 4 or 5 ingredients almost, and it was just like the most incredible thing I ever tasted in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, I
First
ate
time
so
Italy be
much.
like that, bro.
I ordered 2.
That's
Literally,
right,
my
yeah, you
parents
did.
were like, "Whoa,
Sorry.
do you want another?" I was like, "Yeah, yes,
Yeah, do.
definitely."
Run it.
It was crazy.
Love
good.
that.
So yeah,
Love
I don't
that.
know. I've always
Yeah, lighten
loved
up, lighten
food,
up.
but I never,
I got a torch.
I guess, put the time
you.
into learning how to
This thing is
cook,
kind of.
properly. So until I learned
It's
how
dangerous.
to cook, I always liked going to nice restaurants and experiencing
yeah.
that with other people preparing something for me. But now I'm getting into an era
Thanks.
of like, making fresh food at home, like from scratch, and like growing. Like we've grown a lot of. She's done a lot of work in the food garden this year, like growing
Nice.
tomatoes. So we've had like so many tomatoes fresh harvested, growing a lot of herbs,
Oh,
basil,
beautiful.
rosemary, lavender.
So you're
Stuff
single
like
sourcing
that,
that pizza, baby.
Yeah,
That's
as
right.
much as
We had
possible.
we had a
you know?
pasta 2 days ago because we're actually harvesting the 6 plants from the greenhouse we're harvesting now, and there's some Brazilian friends over at home
Cool.
like helping out.
Yeah,
Very cool.
And,
things rolling.
Yeah, Flynn made the pasta, the fresh pasta, fresh fettuccine, and I made the tomato sauce
Beautiful.
from the garden.
Oh, let's
All
go.
ingredients from the garden.
fire.
And Todd's resin ranch's garlic because we didn't grow garlic, but Todd grew garlic and gifted some
Nice.
amazing garlic to
I
us.
love that.
Shout out Todd and Jen Resin. They do
Resin Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've
They're
heard
on
that. I've
Grass
never met them.
Valley
I've known
I love that
about
guy.
them. I've
Yeah.
smoked their hash before.
He's a great guy.
Fire.
So first hash I smoked in a jar from California and not
Like a branded hash.
A branded hash.
Resin Ranch.
Was Resin
Yeah.
Ranch.
Very cool.
And now he's the homie.
No, and
Small
when
world.
Now you're getting garlic from him for your
Super
sauce.
small
Look at that.
I know,
even
right?
weirder.
Trippy.
He was
Life's a
Flynn's
trip, dude.
partner back in the in the
No.
past.
Not partner, but he worked out of.
You were all partner up working.
Yeah,
you know,
he was in a transition period on like moving, and I had a cold room, you know, and like setting up a cold room.
but
at
y'all
a
had to
rental
grow
and all that
together.
stuff.
It's a
Yeah, we had to
partnership.
we had to
You
grow
know,
together,
y'all are-
Yeah.
but not on a
Yeah.
brand. Like we didn't make a brand together and stuff.
For
I just
sure.
want to, you know,
No,
whatever.
but
But no, Todd is.
still, I
a
got there. I was
real
like,
G.
damn. I smoked it. Like your jar made it to
A
Brazil,
real
and I
G.
showed it to him.
Oh, in Brazil, you talking about? I
Yeah,
thought you
back
know when
in
you
the
came
day,
here.
before I even knew Todd.
Oh,
really,
Emerald
probably.
Cup.
shit.
Yeah.
It was Emerald
That's
Cup
crazy.
2016.
Yeah.
My ex-boyfriend, and also shout out to him because he's a good friend of mine. Like nowadays, Phil. He came here with his brother, and they also wanted to make the transition to come to California.
No doubt.
And then he got some resin ranch, and he said, "I'm gonna bring you one gift." And then he brought me that gift, and I was like, "Dope ass gift."
Yeah, fire.
That's fire. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that. So what's on the horizon for Wooksauce Winery, Girls in Green? What's next? What's the next 5 years look like for you crazy kids?
That's honestly a tough call. I don't know. I think we're both working on, you know, I'm working on building a lot of, I don't know, I guess ways to collaborate more on maybe other things, being
Yeah.
more creative with the brand and working on different levels than just putting out jars at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I think that's something that really Alice has instilled in me on a level. Like before I was
Cool.
very single lane, single-minded human being, and you
That's
know,
right.
I needed to. There's a new era, so we're gonna have to figure out, you know, working in that new era.
But there was already a new era, I think. Like our new era started when we started working with other farmers, and then our second new era came when Flynn, I got the sweat equity, and then I had to do things that I was better at, like the branding part,
Yeah.
changing the design of jars, and also putting out the education out there.
Yeah.
I feel like education changes the world, and Flynn is very good at explaining things. He's an extremely smart guy. I think I'm a pretty good teacher too. Maybe not in English. I'm better in Portuguese.
No, you're
maybe.
great. Your English is great.
Maybe it's a little better, but the logical thoughts of like
No doubt.
teaching and stuff,
No
like
doubt.
I might be a little better in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But I feel like our transition started, and then now I feel like from both of our ends, I think that there's a lot of education. There's an educational path like in the future. But
Yeah.
keep making the hash.
cool.
And also, when you say like what's in the future, I want us to keep doing the same thing that we're doing in a way.
Yeah.
I don't want to like us to make more hash, grow more, you know? Like I want us to just like, you know, like this like Sicilian guy, did he want to grow his restaurant like, you know, a lot?
No,
Did he
not
wanna,
at
like,
all. He was
just
so
Sicilian?
no,
No, the
no.
Sicilian
Si-
guy.
Siciliano.
No, the Sicilian guy from the
Yeah.
restaurant that he just
Gotcha,
mentioned.
gotcha,
He's
gotcha.
like,
Yeah.
does he want to put every time like more tables on the?
Right.
On
Sometimes you
the-
find your sweet spot,
Yeah,
and
so-
it's good. It works, and
I was gonna say,
you know, keep going.
Yeah.
Find a spot where we can like, I don't know, keep making like nice quality control and QC and actually keep putting hash out there and not only rosin, because people are very much rosin forward nowadays, and we brought
Yeah.
full melt jars for you to smoke too.
Hell yeah.
I feel
Hell
like too
yeah.
personally.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely. We got it in the cooler
Sick.
on ice over
Like
there,
a
keeping
boss.
it fresh.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's go,
And the Yeti,
dude.
of course.
Of course,
shout
man.
out, shout
Come
out
on.
Yeti.
So
Shout, Yeti.
keeping the
What's
hash
up with the
alive.
sponsorship, Yeti?
feel
we
me?
need that. We need that in the hash game.
Come on
You know-
now.
You know
Stop
that would
playing.
be hitting. You know that
Come
would
on
be
now.
hitting.
Yeah.
Hopefully they see this.
Hopefully, I smell a collab cooking up with us. I feel like winery, pizza, wine,
Oh,
pizza.
I
you
think
know what I'm
it's
saying? I feel
great.
like it's a
Dude,
easy.
Definitely.
Let's
That would
build
be-
on that.
And
I
put
could
that
see
guy to
that.
make pizza dough too, even though it's hash and like.
Well, yeah, when we
flour.
do our tasting,
Put
when we
that
do
guy
our
to
hash
do
hole
pizza
tasting,
dough.
I'm gonna come up. We'll do some
Definitely.
pairings. I'll bring my best flour. You
Yeah,
already know you
definitely.
got the best hash, and we'll fucking
Yeah.
whip up some pies.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make some sauce if you want.
I'm about
You know?
it. Definitely.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
I feel
tight.
like for us
That's
too,
tight.
you've really inspired. You do a lot in Brazil, and I feel like you've done now, like learned a lot, putting out this first online course and the ebook in Portuguese and stuff. And like, I hope in the future, Alice brings more of an educational content up to the North American side and
Which-
an English side.
I was gonna
'Cause
say,
she's
which I'm doing already. I'm
good
like-
at it. No,
because
you are working
we
on
went.
the background.
I was gonna say
on
we
that, for
went
sure.
kind of chronologically, right?
Yeah.
But my latest work thing that I've been doing, that it's outside of Wooksauce, that is a company we own, or Girls in Green, that is a company I own with my mom. My mom has a couple percent of like of my brand.
Solid.
Yeah.
I actually started working for Weedmaps.
Tight.
And
Very cool.
they hired me. Like, I didn't go looking for that job. I never in my life thought I was gonna have a corporate job.
Yeah.
Even though my job doesn't feel. I work for a corporation, right? But my job doesn't feel corporate. I
Yeah.
work in my office with my dogs on my foot, and I create
cool.
for them. I'm a creative.
Yeah. At
No
home.
way,
For
dude.
co-
I did
yeah.
not know that. That's very
Yes.
cool.
So my job with them is to be a creative, and to bring the cultural aspect. They wanted someone that was tapped in and tuned in, and because of everything that happened to us, one of us needed to come out of the trap a little bit, right?
You did.
and
Somebody got to pop out.
Someone gotta pop out and
Yeah.
do.
Give some of that clean green, you feel me?
Yeah.
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 And
That's cool.
I'm so
wrong
grateful
with that.
because I never I come from Brazil, you know. I never thought I would have that job. Never thought I would get sourced for that job. Never thought I could do it well. Like,
Look at you, kicking ass and
Yeah.
taking names.
so it's nice. It's a job that has
It's
been
awesome.
interesting to do.
You should be proud of that, and thank you for your contributions to the game, man. The game always needs education, man.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm
my
saying?
biggest role. I think. Like
Always.
I was made to educate and be an educator. And if you want me to not
That's
tell
cool.
something to the world, I will respect you. But let me know, because normally what I teach, what I learn, I teach. I'll respect you. Okay, just say, hey, this one can go out. Okay, no problem.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
I tend to teach everything,
No
because
doubt.
that's it. Why do you gatekeep knowledge? You know,
Exactly.
education changes everything. And at least in Brazil, we're not in a moment where, oh, this guy have that strain. Oh, if this guy has that tech. Like, we're not in a moment that this is a problem. We're in a moment as that. Please share the clones, because if you get fucked and the cops come in your house, your friend's gonna have.
Don't have them
Come
backed
back.
up for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Please
true.
don't like gatekeep this knowledge, because everyone needs it.
What's up, pizza fam? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Check this out. I'm getting a lot of questions on where I can find the fire good pizza. Check this out. We got you covered. We're in NorCal, SoCal, Central Valley, San Diego. We got you covered on the slices. Peep the list. Go check out the shop. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. Peace, love, good pizza. It's true. It's very true.
Yep.
So that's the mission for the future. Keep
Love
teaching
that. I love that.
with Wooksauce, with Girls in Green, with Weedmaps too, for the
Yeah.
moment, which is awesome too.
Very cool.
Like,
Very cool. So I'm very curious on both of y'all's top 3 strains of all time. Now this is a rosin conversation, a hash conversation. I'm gonna let you go hash if you want to, or if you want to keep it traditional, we could do top 3 flower. So we're gonna go 1 old school, 1 desert island. You stuck on an island with this hash or flower for the rest of your life, and something new you fucking with. And ladies first.
damn, I'm not gonna have an exotic answer for you.
No, you don't have. This is your truth. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude.
We need
yeah.
new answers. There's no right or wrong. This
No,
is your
it's not an exotic
timeline.
answer. Like, I love citrusy strains for spliffs,
Okay.
but they would never be my favorite strain to stay forever, right?
Okay.
A strain that I can smoke every day and never get tired in flower form and in hash form is Skittles and their crosses.
Oh, another one for Skittles. Let's go.
Yeah.
She really loves that Z, baby.
Oh yeah. So shit. There's a battle for the island right now. It's OG or Skittles. So that's the desert island. What
Shit.
what you doing for old school? What's your favorite old school?
Maybe an emotional attachment memory, not necessarily the best
That's
flavor
usually
in
what
the
it
world.
is.
I think it's this SFV OG,
Okay. Tight.
which was the first hash I've ever smoked
Nice.
from Humboldt.
Fire.
And I think they will say that, but that's an emotional. I think that if I smoke more gas right now and old school stuff, like I'll probably like something else better.
No doubt.
But it's just like an emotional
Nah, it's all
attachment.
good. That's usually what the old school is, and then something new you're fucking with.
Dude, I've been loving the grape gas. Like we
Yeah, it's
got
a
a few
hitter.
comps with that. Shout out to Zach that grows fire.
Let's go.
I think he does
Hell
an
yeah.
awesome job on the cultivation. But yeah, grape gas is one of my favorites. It's one that I have to be mindful because it races my heart a little bit. The
Gotcha.
taste is like the best in the world,
Yeah.
but not my heart. I have to like dab that and go do something.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I get like
Get a little racy.
get
Yeah, I
little
feel you.
racy.
I feel
And
you.
the Skittles is completely the opposite.
It's chill. Just
chill.
flavor town.
It's Flavor Town, gets my mind on a good mindset.
Yeah, same.
Makes me do things. I like smoking Skittles and riding.
People get creative on Skittles. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
For real.
For
Yeah.
sure. I think that's a universal thing with those terps.
And have you seen how beautifully Skittles cures in the hash form?
Oh, yeah.
It becomes like and shout out to Jess from Frosty, love her. And she sometimes I get some Skittles from her because we don't run much Skittles and stuff. And I got a ball of hash from her, and I just like let it sit for 4 months, I think. And when the hash cured, and I pressed the tempo ball, and I opened it up, it smelled like orange blossom.
Oh, wow.
Not the citrus orange, the
Like
sweet.
grapefruit, sweet grapefruit type Skittles type shit.
But no, the grapefruit tart, right? No tart.
Okay.
Just sweet
Ooh,
orange.
let's go.
Like, I don't know. It's just magical.
Like orange blossom honey almost.
It's just, you can't
Nice.
go wrong with
Orange
Skittles.
blossom,
You
with the
know?
orange blossom
Yeah,
turned
orange
up
blossom,
to
yeah.
15 out of 10, you know?
It's not. I don't think it's by any chance in the world that it just takes all the competitions, first place and second place
Oh,
or
yeah,
third.
come on now.
But because it's very
Yeah.
it's special.
They got World War Z about to happen in the UK.
Oh, really? I
World
didn't hear
War
about
Z.
that.
Yeah, my bro Adam
Maybe you
from
need to
Proper
go to
Doinks is
that
going
one.
to
That
judge
sounds
this
like your
shit,
type of
dude.
competition.
I think it's flour. But fuck, dude. It's awesome. I'm loving that it's happening. You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
not go to war for Skittles because I already go to war for Skittles in my own house.
I
When you
know,
take
right?
my last Skittles
Jesus.
dabs.
Martha.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, if
Shit
there's
goes
one
south.
way to make this lady just
Don't touch my
just
Z
get
jar.
mad, it's that. I
Damn,
don't
let me
have
find
access
out. That's
to
kinda
that. That's
cool.
the one
I
thing
dig that.
she's like,
He
yo,
keeps making memes about
that's
me.
mine.
That's
I know,
fucking
yeah.
Cats
If
that
you
you get
follow
like
the
all
page,
crazy when you get something from them,
Yeah.
like how I get when he gets my Skittles jars, and it's not a lie. I can't even say it's a lie.
Hey, it's all
Yeah.
good, man. It's all good. You guys figure it out in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's,
yeah, I
that's a
respect
no-go.
it. I respect it. It's really her medicine. Like, if I'm
Yeah,
honest,
no,
like
it's cool.
with the way it affects her is just so positive. Like, even, you know, when a lot of other strains might not be able to do that. So I mean, I can't deny, like, I wouldn't want people touching my
Yeah, don't touch
medicine
my
like
shit.
that either.
You know what I'm saying?
And in high anxiety times, I actually can't smoke as much as I want
Yeah.
because I want to smoke for the habit. And then when I have super high anxiety, I have to tune down.
Yeah,
And
same.
I have to
No, I know what you
understand the
mean.
right moment and stuff like this. And Skittles helps me with that. And I will shout out someone else, which is Hard Rock Mountain Farm. This has nothing to do with Skittles. So this is my alternate cannabinoid flower. Okay, this is my top. In the top 4. I'm gonna put an alternate.
Oh, top 4. We doing
She's
top 4
starting a
today.
new category
shit.
on
Yeah,
you.
top 4.
Let's go, Alice. She's a
Because-
boss, dog. She just took the show over. Let's go. Love it.
He made this like beautiful like love and laughter CBD flower that has helped me out through hard times in life, and I'm thankful for him and that plant. It's 18% CBD, 1% THC. It does not taste like anything like THC. I can't say that.
Yeah.
But it's the most mellow smoke you can think. So in the moments of where you just need something, you just need to puff some smoke, you know. And
Yeah. That's
that
the one.
has soothed my heart and my soul. So I'm thankful, Daniel, and your family. Thank you.
Fire.
He knows how much I like it. He knows I only go to the dispensary to get that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
How about you, Flynn? What you got? Old school, new school, desert island.
Favorite old school, I think Sour D. Honestly, that's just
My
like
guy.
a classic. Classic.
Same for me, bro.
Yeah. New school, man, honestly, just because it's so personal to me in a way, probably the cookies and cream. Like that, in a lot of ways, like I started up and really made
yeah.
a name under a lot of that cultivar right there.
Nice.
And like it really treated me so well that
I feel you,
I
bro.
owe a lot to it. So yeah, and then what was the other one?
I fell
Desert
in love with your
Island.
cookies
You're
and cream
stuck.
first. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
I know, right?
You stuck on the island for the rest of
Desert
your life.
Island.
One strain.
That's so hard because I love variety, and we're talking hash.
Whatever you want, hash or flour.
No, I don't smoke
only
much
let
flower.
the hash
Honestly,
crew
hash, like,
get this option.
That's a very hard.
There's way more variety in hash too. I feel like.
There's one on the
Flavor-wise.
table that I think is one of your picks. I won't say which one it is.
I mean, I feel honestly, I was thinking lemon limes.
Yeah, I know. That's the one I
Okay,
pointed out.
yeah, that is it. It's really like shout out Enzo and Luma, California. out there in Pengrove in NorCal. They do amazing work, and Enzo's the head cultivator there, and he it's kind of like a something he selected, kind of something he keeps close to home and only runs, and it's just got that amazing like OG and citrus mix, like candy gas, but not like candy Skittles, more like, or I don't know, you disagree a little in that candy gas reference, but for me it's got a sweet and a gas to it.
I think it's more lemon and gas.
Lemon candy side of things, you know.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
No candy. Okay. Lemon gas.
No, excuse me. No candy. She definitely has a better palate than me, honestly. Like her ability to properly describe. It's so funny. Like multiple times, someone has handed her an unmarked jar and been like, "Check that out." She's like, "Weird. That smells like sour diesel and this or something." I remember one blatant. It was some sauerkraut, and they're like, how the fuck did you know that? That's literally exactly what it fucking is.
Yeah. But now when you put me on the spot, I get nervous, you know? It has to be natural.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm pretty good like that with flour, for sure. I got a terp nose, too. You know what I'm saying? Terp pounds, dog.
Look,
you know
God gave me this.
Yeah, at least
at least gave me, he honored it. Imagine if I had all of this and I couldn't smell. That would be sad.
Same here. That's cool. So, I had a lot of fun with you guys today, man. It was really fun getting to know you guys. Before we get up out of here, I just have one more question for y'all. If you could go back to the young you the day before you jumped into the game, what advice would you give you? Ladies first.
I think that to keep my head up, it doesn't matter the environment. I chose a path in the cannabis world that it's not easy. With girls in green, I feel confident, but in the hash game, it's so hard to feel confident if you're a girl. Mm-hmm. I'll say that it's a very male-dominated industry, and it's very hard to gain respect when you're a female hash maker. And it's very hard for you to feel it's not only gain respect, but also feel comfortable in a room, which I think it's something that people that are males might not experience when they're not comfortable in a room just because of their gender. Because sometimes you're in a room and there's 80 dudes and one girl. Like when I took Frenchy Cannoli's class, there were 80 people, and me and his wife were the only girls in the event.
Wow.
So feel like that's to keep my head up on this.
Hell yeah.
Maybe there were times I felt very insecure, and many times I gave up doing things because of feeling insecure or that I shouldn't do it. Many times I went with the flow, and if you see it from the outside, you probably don't even see the insecurity part, but it doesn't mean that it didn't exist.
Yeah, of course. That's solid advice.
So keep your head up. It doesn't matter. Study, and because you are a woman, you might be slightly more, they're going to ask to make sure it is what it is, that you know what you're talking about. So keep study, work on your tongue, and then just
solid.
Don't keep your head down.
Solid. Thank you.
Stand up. Ladies, y'all go.
That's right. That's right. What you got, Flynn? What you telling the young you?
Honestly, I would say don't forget to stop and smell the roses once in a while. I think a lot of us, especially because of how much we end up loving what we choose to do with our lives, that line between personal life and work, sometimes you can end up just making that get, worse and worse in a way, and you end up really just so much of you is about your work. You don't develop a really holistic person, so you got to really be a little aware of that. I think it can be really consuming, the industry we're in, especially just because of how much you need to grind to get in and get ahead and all that type of stuff. So have a balance, make sure your mental health is on point.
Hell yeah.
A lot of high risk situations too in this game at the end of the day. So you really just got to be aware of that.
Yeah, solid.
Mm-hmm. And we're all passionate people, right?
Yeah.
We all do this because we love, and then we work so much harder because we love it.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were selling diapers. We would work a 9 to 5 and then just step out.
That's it, bro.
It's a life I think the last paycheck job I have from someone else was a valet in Seattle when I was 18, selling weed to people and shit, and just being a little kid. But
that's right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How'd I do on that hash roll?
Yeah.
Fire.
Look,
Did
just
good?
got it.
Cool. Yeah, I seen
I'm
it.
feeling it.
I seen it. That's what's up,
Feeling
man. Well, where can people find you guys? If you guys want to plug anything, please do so at this time. And if you could tell me who should I know that you know, and who do you know that I should know? Just said the same thing twice, just backwards.
And I got high right now. Dude, that hash out got me lit. I'm like,
Just so you know, those weren't two different questions. I was
yeah, I'm like,
so that sounded
how
crazy.
do I go from one to the other right now?
Just who do
Babe,
you think I should have on the show? Actually, in
I'll
the
go
hash community. Let's keep it in the hash community because I need more.
Yeah,
who should be- who should
else
Cherry
know?
Blossom Bell, Frenchy Cannoli's apprentice.
She's
Plug
amazing.
me,
Laura Bell.
please,
Laura
amazing.
Bell. I'll plug you.
please,
I would strongly support for you to have more females in your podcast.
please. I
and
need
not
'em.
only
I
couples,
need 'em.
okay?
No,
Like
no, no.
females coming
Dolo, yeah,
by themselves.
The homegirl
Uh,
Lakshmi just came on the other day. Dolo.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Dope.
I need them. Please
Yeah,
plug
so
me.
Cherry Blossom Bell is like a G, and she
Okay,
was French's
cool.
apprentice. I think that she could be like here's
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at
She's
it.
an amazing hash maker.
Yeah,
She
Hell
does a
yeah.
lot of education. She's someone that I respect.
Bro, it's a double.
lot.
It's a double whammy for me, bro. A hash maker and a female. Come on, I need it. I need that in my catalog.
Have you dab?
Yes, I do.
Do you dab on Puffcos? Do you have a
Yeah.
you have a vaporizer company you work with?
Riggs, Puffcos.
Okay.
Whatever.
Chelsea could be a interesting lady for you to have here too, because she
Okay.
makes a bridge in two different worlds that are amazing, which is the cannabis world and of course her super corporate role too, like
Puff
with
Cups,
hash.
yeah.
But she does jujitsu and martial, she's
Oh,
like
shit.
on the jujitsu realm too.
Yeah.
So she makes the bridge in two different like awesome subjects. So
Hell yeah.
Chelsea from Puffco,
Okay.
I can introduce you to her
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Puffcon.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
For
come
sure.
to PuffCon,
I'm coming for my first time.
Yeah.
I'm going to PuffCon for my first time.
Awesome.
Cannabis for my first time. This, by the way, this is a nice pairing.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
Ge-
you're seeing
Gelinade
it
and
first,
Taliman.
first hands. Like this jars. and
Quality
this
inputs.
were printed yesterday with the puff call.
Yeah, they showed up yesterday. Those are going to be
The stickers.
Hell
so.
yeah.
dropping.
I'm
That
gonna come scoop a
packaging
jar.
is brand new.
Show some
dropping
We're
support.
gonna leave you with the jars. You just
Well,
can't
I
post it
appreciate
before,
it.
okay?
What's
don't
that?
post. Don't
Yeah, you
post
can't
it before.
No,
post
no, no. I ain't
before.
posting nothing. I
Yeah.
ain't posting nothing.
If you wanna post it
After
you-
PuffCon
after
or
PuffCon.
at PuffCon, I'll
At
bring a jar
PuffCon,
too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cool. Where can people find you guys? Shout out your Instagrams, your websites.
So
What you got?
Well, to start, of course, both of us, Wooksauce Winery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our Instagram. Girls in Green is Girls in Green 710.
Okay.
We also have a website that is girlsingreen.net. Most of the articles are in Portuguese, but I mean nowadays there's AI that translates the whole article.
Yeah.
You know, at the moment you're reading it with your phone and everything. And my personal Instagram is Alice with 6 eyes. And find us smoking hash out there, y'all.
That's you, Alice with 6 eyes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that you
Learn something new every day, folks.
Yeah, it's the braids. I think it's the braids.
Holy
too.
shit! I didn't know that. We've been following each other for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
It's because my braids made me look different.
Yeah, I think so.
Some people will probably recognize you, and not me. They're gonna be, hey, you got a new
No
girl.
doubt. No doubt.
Oh,
no
damn.
doubt.
Yeah, they're going to see the
Yeah.
thumbnail like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh shit!
Where's Alice? Oh, no.
No
She's
doubt.
here.
Well,
She's
nice to
here.
meet you in person,
Nice
Alice
to meet
with
you.
5 eyes, 6 eyes,
6 eyes.
6
I
eyes.
don't know. It was
Yeah.
what was available.
No
and
doubt.
if I can shout out one thing,
Please do.
is because Girls in Green is a small company and self-founded, things take way longer to happen than what a big company would, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're translating our digital book
Nice.
that goes from traditions to technology.
Of
It's a
hash.
dope
Yeah.
book. What we've did,
It's
with the
amazing.
team.
It's
And
Sorry.
shout out to my
amazing.
copywriter Thais that has been working with me for 4 years and became a hash maker because of that. You know,
Tight.
because of how
Hell
much
yeah.
she had to write about it. I made her write about
Seriously.
it. Recorded audios and audios. And if there is any way you all want to support Girls in Green, when we have the ebook, we will put it in our website. Support. We're gonna keep it like simple price and stuff like this.
Dope.
But there's a lot of information out there.
What's your website?
Girlsingreen.net.
Done it.
Like we just started a small e-commerce, and I'm
Cool.
just selling courses and the ebooks. But soon maybe I put the products. But those things have their own kind of distribution system.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
If I can
Very
shout it
cool.
out there, and probably the name of the book in English. I haven't translated the title yet. Like I have translated the book, but not the title, right?
No doubt.
I think the name of the book in English was going to be a hash Bible. I gave up on having something so similar to Christianity, and it's going to be hashish from traditions. No, or like hashish from traditions to or contemporary. Fuck, now I lost it. But y'all will know.
It's
But it's
alright.
about traditional
It's coming.
Yeah.
and contemporary
It's coming.
hash.
The ebook will be available
the ebook
soon
will be available this year.
on girlsandgreen.net.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Support the ladies,
that's what's
y'all.
up. Support the
Made only
ladies.
by women.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Alice, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Flynn, thanks for coming through, brother.
Thank you.
Dope meeting you guys, getting to know you guys on the show. You already know, guys. Good pizza, Wooksauce Winery, Ladies in Green. Let's go. Hit the Patreon. Like, subscribe. We appreciate all the supporters. Couldn't do this without you guys. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here.
Peace out.